news. Bad things coming too. But I never knew about the little things. Every single day, things get in my way. Someone has to pay for the little things. And I'm through with the scars and sick of my shoes and walking in the dark and it's got nothing to do with final solution. It's a box full of shit and I'm through with the cares when there's nothing to fix. When there's nothing to fix. When there's nothing to fix. And it all comes down to you.
Welcome to Pilgrim on Wrestling. Now, time for the show.
Hey, man.
Oh,
What's going on?
what's going on, brother?
Nothing. Just, another day.
Oh, most definitely. So before we even get started, let me get this out of the way because I always forget. We be like 20 minutes in. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Premium Smoke Room and welcome to Pilgrim on Wrestling. I'm your wonderful co-host, Carol Summer Champ, and I'm here with the funny and sometimes very angry at Amazon. And also wrestling historian. I'm talking about the one and only, and one day will be award-winning porn star. I truly believe it. Billy Pilgrim. How you doing, my brother?
I'm all right. It's funny you mention awards because actually XBiz is going down as we speak in Miami. And I don't know. Originally, I was going to go, but I just got back from Chicago Exotica, on top of which then there's Miami Exotica coming up in July, and then I'm going to Jacksonville next week, and it was just like, I'm not nominated for anything, but like so many people and so many friends are going to be there. It's kind of like, kind of wish I was there, but they need to space these things out a little bit more. Because not everybody works for Brazzers. Okay, some people are
I'm sorry. It's just it's like every month is a convention. That's why I give kudos to them girls that go to every one. One, because half the time they get to sit at one of these booths, so they really ain't got to worry about the money. Well, they ain't got to worry. They still got to have a hotel, but at least they are centerpiece within the framework of that convention, and it can make money at the convention.
I'm hoping I'm supposed to do an interview next Sunday, and it's for Exotica TV. So I'm hoping maybe I'll get on their radar and maybe at least maybe get invited to some parties or something, just to get the, for networking purposes. But I just kind of wish I was there, but it's just, I got my room booked for Miami, but I mean, it's ridiculously expensive, and that, so I mean, unfortunately, and like I said, and it's weird, the way they space them out, they pile them all, and then like there's nothing for months, and then there's like then there's like and then it's like all piled up again. So it's like October, then December, then AVN, and all this stuff in January, and then so it's kind of.
That's why my buddy is only really focusing on like New Jersey, because Habit asked me about Miami. I was like, look, I don't know I can do because it takes it takes money, one, for the travel, then for the hotel. And then also, like I said, now I'm trying to work on getting a media pass so I can go to New Jersey and be able to move around and film, and I ain't got to worry about no headaches for so much. And also with the media pass, it also enables you to get into certain parties that everybody can't get into because it's media. Media's invited. And but even more so, it's kind of like the money I got to save up for this shit, ain't no way in hell I'm gonna have Miami money by the time Miami comes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm taking a huge leap, but hopefully you have some decent money coming in. And like I said, I'm kind of waiting for a couple of people to, that's the thing about porn in the beginning. I got some stuff coming up, and it's going to be paid gigs. But again, it's a lot of hurry up and wait. Like, somebody might book you, but it could be in August or whatever. It takes a while. Even once you get your foot in the door, it takes time to be one of these guys that is constantly being booked. The Jersey probably. That reminds me. I mean, maybe in the next couple of weeks, I'll take a look or try to find out what the host hotel is, because part of what made this last Exotica so sweet was that Jersey was such a train wreck. Like if I can't get a room in the host hotel, then I'm not going, because Edison, New Jersey fucking sucks. And
yes, it does.
It does. It literally. I don't. If you live in Edison, New Jersey, and you listen to the show, you have a level of patience that I think the government should come to your house and do experiments on you, because I think you might be an X-Man, because again, you got to take like a little shuttle bus. So at least if I have the host hotel, I'm gonna drive. I probably will drive up like I did last year, but drive in, check in, go one trip to the store and buy a bunch of stuff, load up the room with food, and then not leave the hotel until it's time to go home, because I had to, drive around. And the thing about Edison is, first of all, it's laid out. You can't go, it takes like 20 minutes to go 10 feet, but also they have a bunch of hotels, but the problem is they'll have like a group of 3 hotels with basically the same name. Then they'll have another group of hotels with the same name, and then a third group of like 3 hotels with the same name. So literally, you have to grill the person you're shooting with if they're not staying at the host. And that's the thing. If I go to Jersey and I get a room at the host hotel, you're coming to me. I don't give a fuck who you are. You're coming to me. Because I'll even pay for you want a lift, I'll pay for your lift, but I'm not driving in Edison, because one shoot I lost because the girl gave me the wrong. It's not her fault, but she was staying at a hotel, so she gave me the address of a different hotel, but it was the same name. So it takes me like 20 minutes to go, like literally a couple of miles to get to the hotel. She sent me to the wrong hotel. And like I said, I try to stack as many shoots as I can when I go to these things, because half of them are gonna, like I had like 8 or 9 scenes booked. I got 4, so, and I don't. And again, you run your shit how you want to run your shit. But if I have you from 4 to 6 for a shoot, then we need to get stuff done between 4 and 6, because then I'm supposed to be somewhere at like 6:30 or 7. Well, then, they're like, I'm not going to fuck up that. I already have an obligation to somebody else. Like, if you can't be on, and like I said, shit happens. But what I find and what I don't tolerate is if people are going to be late, regardless of the reason, okay. Yeah. But now, if you're going to shoot something with me and you're allowing this person to show up really late, and then a lot of times they're on their own clock, so they're not thinking like, oh, you have other shit to do today, like, and then
oh my god,
I have done it. I will cancel the shoot. Like if we're booked for 4 and by 5 o'clock you're like, oh, he just got here, I'm like, all right, well, we're not going to shoot today because I have to be somewhere later, and I'm not. And just because this dude can't be on time, I'm not going to allow him to like chain react. He's already cost me 1 shoot. I remember one time I showed up on time, as I often do for a shoot, and they just started the scene. And this dude showed up late and then decided he was going to chit chat and roll a joint and have a grand old time. And like an idiot, now this is like a while ago. Now I would just go, all right, well, I'm gonna go. Because and it was the, you know, like, okay, you're late. You need to like hurry up and get to it. Don't sit there and roll a joint or whatever, because now you're eating up your time, and now you're gonna start fucking with my time. And you know, you could do whatever you want with your time. I don't give a shit. You could film a 5-minute scene. There's no never mind to me.
Hey, look, let me tell you what happened to me in 2019. Now I supposed to have this shoot with this chick, and we supposed to do it that Friday. I had everything set up because originally it was like 7 scenes. 2 of the girls, when I contacted them a little bit before, they wanted to add attitudes. One told me to go fuck off. I don't know what the hell happened that made her mad at me. The other one was saying I was thirsty, but I hadn't talked to her in almost 3 weeks prior to that. Another chick, she canceled because she said something else came up that she had to do instead of, you know, come to Zog. I was like, oh man, fuck. So the 2 that I had, well, the 3 that I had was with the 2 that I did do was Selena Sky and Princess Gemini. Shouts out to both of them. And Selena Scott was wonderful, as well as Gemini. But the other girl, we supposed to hook up that Friday. Now, caveat for the listeners. This motherfucking chick, I'm trying not to say bitch, decides, just so happens that her baby daddy, who has the baby, lives up north, just so happened right around the corner from what is it? Edison, New Jersey, from the convention. Now we supposed to hooked up that evening, the whole night, this and third, right? This heifer decided that she wants to do a jailbreak with the child, but we supposed to hook up and shoot. Now, my thing of this, if maybe I'm crazy and I could be wrong, Billy, but I don't think that's a last-minute decision that a woman would make, because she literally somewhat kidnapped the child. Understand probably why I'm not knocking her for it, but my thing of it is, you decide to do this on the weekend of a porn convention. So my shoot gets missed. The next day, right, I run to my man, Mr. Starr. He cool people. Shouts out to Mr. Starr. I don't know if he's still in the business or not. And me and Shorty already talked about, okay, we can't do it today. We're going to try it tomorrow. Let's do it this time. So I shoot with Selena Sky. We set up waiting for Shorty. She at some content fucking house, which at one point made me hate content houses. Okay, at one point I couldn't stand them shits. You know, I kind of eased my stance since I've got out the business, but I used to hate them fucking shits. Because everybody want to say they got a content house. You ain't got a fucking content house. You got a bunch of broads that stay in there. You just trying to fuck all of them. Stop playing.
Hey, it's Princess Havoc, your favorite BBW adult star and host of Causing Havoc, along with the fabulous Bobby Lucas, where we talk about anything and everything. Come follow the dopamine with us Sundays at noon, now with video. Part of the Premium Smoke Room family and streaming exclusively on Anchor and Spotify. Run, don't walk to subscribe now. For only $4.99 a month, you get my show and 4 other great shows as well. See you there. Mwah.
I see it's going to be that kind of day today. So anyway, Black was saying, my man, Mr. Starr, he comes over, me and him chilling, we talking, what have you. It was the night before. And he was like, yeah, I'm supposed to shoot with her too. I said, oh, well, cool. You know, no big deal, this, that, and the third, right? Now, I knew this chick way back, you know, when I was doing the BCB street team, like many years ago. We just reconnected. She gets hemmed up in another shoot. My shoot gets missed because she supposed to came over to us because we had the camera, right? If I had known I had to go all the way over to her ass, we probably would have done that shit. But my man gets to shoot with her ass. I'm like, well, damn, okay. So, yeah, I felt some type of fucking way. I'm like, wait a second. Me and you done talked for 3 fucking months, and this motherfucker get to shoot with you, and I don't. And I was booked first. And you made me miss out because you decide that you want to do basically kidnapping your child back. Because in essence, that was you was, because why would he be in New Jersey unless the father had custody? I don't know. I can't argue the point. So then I see her later on that night, right? The conversation was, yeah, we're going to hook up 6 o'clock in the morning before I leave to go Sunday to go home. Another reason why I hate to have to ride with somebody, I wish I had just got myself up there, because I missed out on 3 shoots I could have did that goddamn Sunday because this motherfucker wanted to get back Sunday evening and I'm dealing with him. Okay, I digress. So I already knew what it was because I'm seeing her at the after party. This is when I actually first met Dallas Strokes, excuse me, when I met Dallas Strokes. And he was hanging with her at the time. But anyway, I see her. She was like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, so we're going to hook up at, 6 in the morning. She was like, yeah, we're going to hook up. I was like, I looked at her, you drunk as shit. I would believe your drunk dumb ass going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to come shoot with me. No. So, and then his sad part was going to pay and cover her travel. You know how you complain about the Atlanta chicks? This is an Atlanta chick. So trust me, I feel your pain when it comes to Atlanta. Because them girls got an ego and an attitude about them that make no goddamn sense, and they shouldn't even fucking have. Because half of them ain't even that fucking hot to begin with, but I digress. She gets an attitude trying to tell me how we going to do the shoot, and I'm the one paying for your dumb ass to come travel to North Carolina in the first place, and your hotel. So how the hell you going to tell me about anything, and you ain't even putting up no goddamn money? And on top of that, you canceled on me 3 times while we was in Exotica. So trust me, I know the feeling.
Well, I mean, it's a thing of, again, it aggravates me and it makes it harder to get through a scene. And again, especially if I have stuff booked with other people, it's like, well, I'm not, again, and also, I'm sorry, man or female, if you're late to a gig, when you show up, and again, being late, sometimes it's unavoidable. You know what? You need to be, don't roll a joint. I don't care if you guys are all friends. It's, you need to get your shit in gear, because now you're being because you wouldn't like it. And I can hear people talking shit now. Like, well, I'm like, yeah, all right. Well, then how would you like it if I cracked up in a beer and started, talking a country mile and, whatever? Like, you wouldn't like it. So my thing is, and also, there's a way of doing things, and there's a way of, people will express to you how important or what your value is to them by their actions. So it's like, look, and here's again.
I mean, let's just be honest. There's not a lot of truly professional people in this business that understand what the term professional fucking means.
Well, I mean, for me, it's like, again, like, Atlanta, the female Atlanta talent, it's like, look, I don't fit the norm of what they normally shoot with, so it doesn't matter how good I am or whatever, or how reliable I am. I don't fit into the Atlanta. And Atlanta's very tribal and very kind of, and again, it doesn't matter how professional or reliable I am. I don't fit the mold of what Atlanta female talent or the producers want. And if I should start to blow up, it's, I consider myself a talent that happens to live in Atlanta. I don't consider myself an Atlanta talent. And I'm not saying this to be shitty or like I have a grudge, but if I do start to blow up, I don't really want all of a sudden everybody in Atlanta blowing up my phone or my DMs or whatever. It's like, you guys weren't interested last week and I respected it. So if you wouldn't mind staying over there, it's like, I'm not really looking for any, kind of Johnny come latelys. Or if you really want to shoot with me, then you can meet my ass in Florida or when I'm in Vegas or when I'm wherever. But, with talent that passes through Atlanta, that, like, I see talent coming to Atlanta and they're like, when they say, oh, any Atlanta talent, I don't reach out to them. And when somebody messages me, I have apprehension because what they do and I understand to a degree where they're coming in to shoot with certain people that they want to shoot with, and then they're stacking other stuff on top of it in case they, which to me, it's like, look, and again, this is how I would do it. And, look, you do things your way. But if I come to New Jersey or if I come to North Carolina and I'm going to shoot with the Spit Queen, I'm going there to shoot with her. And if I'm shooting with her on Friday night and most of the day Saturday, I will book stuff if I can. The rest of the weekend, I'm there after I'm done with my initial thing. Now, if she cancels on me, well, then I take the risk and either scramble and find more people to work with, and or the trip's a loss. And that's the gamble we all take when we travel. So my argument is, if you're a female talent and you're passing through Atlanta, unless you really want to work with me, don't reach out to me. Wait until we're either at a convention, or wait till I'm in Florida, or like wait till the next time around, because
But see, to be honest with you, that's the best way to be, because guess what? Now, they're the most serious. You feel me? And I kind of understand, like, when I had talked to Soul Salvatore, he said he never reaches out to anybody. And everyone he worked with reaches out to him. I said, I'd rather have that than me trying to chase these chicks. Because if they reach out to you, that means they really want to fucking work with you.
Well, actually, no. Actually, I have to argue against that, because because female talents, every time I've ever really been jerked around on a shoe is when they approach me first, and they'll be passing through. And this is why I had to establish certain ground rules that, like, okay, you reach out to me. And again, it also now it depends on if I'm on a test. If I'm on a test, then yes, I could be available, whatever. If I'm not on a test, then I usually just say I'm not going to be available, because I'm not going to risk paying for a test and then whatever, because somebody can't be on time, or somebody wants to be, rescheduled like 6 times, and and whatever. And again, if somebody keeps moving around on you and you're going with it, that means you really want to work with them. And then you're coming back to me and messing with my date. That means you really don't, which, again, you didn't need to reach out to me this go around. And what I do is, like, if you book me on a Saturday at like 2:00, if you say, can we move it to 4? I go, okay. And then if it's like, oh, can we move it to 7 or something? Or if you come back again and say, like, oh, I'm running, I will just be like, hey, I have other stuff I got to do. And I'm not rude about it. I'm just like, hey, I got other stuff I got to do, and I'm not available I'm busy the rest of the time you're here, because it's like, look, clearly you got more important things that are important to you, and I'm not interested in standing around my apartment, which I'm probably going to do anyway, but like waiting on your call, because I did not work.
That would kill me, because this is the reason why it kills me. Because they know a lot of times whether or not they can actually make that shoot. Because what kills me is that they'll book. And I don't want to be that just in case the dude that you want to shoot with don't show up, backup book. No, motherfucker. I need to be the guy wanting it. That's why I rather for girls, when they come in to work with me and me only, then I'm one of many. No, because I might be the one to get fucked out of the deal.
Yeah.
And I done took time away from my day, think we supposed to shoot. I done lost time. I done lost fucking money. I done got off work. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I done got this TTS or whatever the fuck you want me done. And guess what? You call me and say, well, I don't know. I can do this, this, and this. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah.
And again, it's like, and it's not saying that you don't want to work with me, but it's obviously not a high priority. And I don't know what you got going on. It's not my business, but that's why if I'm on a test, I go, sure. If I'm not going, because I've been burned a couple of times where I go and pay the money for the test, and then they just. And here's the other thing too.
That's why you do health department. Motherfuckers sit there and be like, well, now they don't accept. Well, one, that's another reason why. Because I'm like, well, I only accept health department. I just need TTS. Fuck you. For what? For me to need TTS? I done spent that $300. Then something happen, your ass gets sick. Death in the family, anything like that. Some of that shit bullshit, some of it ain't. And guess what? You're not shooting. And I don't live in Vegas. I don't live in North Carolina. I don't live in fucking Florida. Damn sure don't live in Atlanta. I live in motherfucking North Carolina, where there ain't a lot of girls around here that's doing adult film, let alone even willing to take a TTS for this shit regardless.
Well, yeah, no, there's a test that it's like $100, and it's literally the same test minus the unnecessary COVID test, and that's the test I usually for if Blush Erotica calls me and books me for a shoot, or some other big site, yes, TTS. If I go to Exotica in July, TTS. But it's the same exact test, and ironically,
with me, I wouldn't even if I was still in the game. I'd be like, "Fuck you! I'll do that $100 test. Kiss my ass, TTS. What's the difference?"
Well, it's just again, for me, I have a bigger goal in down the road. But
I mean, I get what you're saying because you want to play with the big dogs. So because you want to play with the big dogs, you gotta kind of play by their rules. But I'm talking from a dude that understand this. I never gave a fuck about working with Hollywood. Period. If that were the case, when my ass started this business, I would have motherfucking. I had the cat. Look, put it this way: I could have went Hollywood. I had the contacts. I had the producers. All I had to do was just go to them. But I never wanted that. So to me, I get if I'm getting paid for a scene, yeah, I do TTS all day because that's a paid gig, that's a major company. I'm doing content. No, fuck you. I throw the middle finger at you. I'm not about to do a TTS. I might do that CET for your dumb ass. If I feel like it, or you get a health department or what have you. The reason why, because at the end of the day, trust me, I'm not gonna make that 300 back, babe.
Yeah, and my thing is, I don't care if you're, Gem Jules, or you're the girl that has you're on your 13, you got like 200 followers as of that morning. I'm gonna treat you exactly the same, and I'm gonna be on time, and and do everything I can to give you the best content. And the thing is, it's not even that I think in some cases it's just them being cloud chasers or them just being disrespectful. But in most cases, it's like, look, I get it. I don't have a lot of clout, or my name is on the rise, but it hasn't had that big blow up yet. Now, here's the problem. If I just stand around and just constantly let you reschedule and this, that, and the other thing, and and then eventually they just go, oh, I can't make it. Well, then I've made myself look like I'm not, it's like, look, I don't care if I'm not important to you. I have worked very hard to get to the level that I'm at and to be as good as I am, and to, have a guy like, Jason Loeb, hit me up and want to interview me, or major talents coming up to me at Chicago and going, hey, I want to work with you. I worked hard for that, and I not taking myself too seriously, but it's like, I am not doing this as a game. If you're not going to, take me seriously or make me a priority, then you don't need to be going in my DMs, or come back when you come back in 2 months, then, I don't know what else to tell you. It's, and also here's the other thing. If they're constantly rescheduling or moving around or whatever on you, they're probably not, again, because
you last resort, you break in case of emergency. And if I'm that bitch, fuck you. Simple as that.
And like I said, as far as I know, I live in the city of Atlanta. As far as I know, I am the only legitimate white male talent with credits and references in the whole nine, and that is worth like a wooden nickel with dry rot. And it is what it is. But my thing is, I'm fine with it. The thing that would get me upset and actually start to kind of make me a little grouchy is if all of a sudden, people are like, you were here the whole what? But all of a sudden now, and no. Everybody knew I was here. Everybody knew I was here. No one cared.
Fucking imbecile, they can't read.
I can work with you if you come up to me and go, okay, you're worth my time now that we could do something. I can respect that because you're being honest. I actually saw a producer talking about he's looking for talent to work with his female talent. And I know the guy, and I live in the area, and I guarantee you, I am less of a headache to deal with than any other probably male. I'm probably the least headache-inducing of any male talent in the Atlanta, Georgia area. But for whatever reason, and I don't know his reasons, you know, or maybe the girls don't want to work with me or whatever. But it's like, you know, you're not calling me, so you know, and that's the thing. It's like, look, if you decide to call me, be honest and be like, look, I could see a potential, something in it for me. Well, then we could still do business. But if you're gonna butter up to me like I'm not aware that, you know, you were having parties and events and this, that, and the other thing, like a mile from my house, and you never even invited me over to have a drink and say hello, well then, you know, then yeah, we're gonna have to have a little discussion. You know, I might need some money, or you know, like it depends on whatever content you want to shoot. It better be something I really want to do.
Yeah, most definitely. So now we done got through that. Programming note today, we're having the wonderful Gerald Roberts coming back. I'm going to send him an invite in a few. And he's going to tell us about his experience, and he's going to lead the discussion part of Pro Wrestling Smoke side of the show about AEW, since he was at Dynamite Live. I am so jealous of him. I wish I could. I'd be glad when I go to a fucking live wrestling event. And also, and also stay tuned to the old school part 1 of a 2-week discussion upon the Sheik's book that, as you know, Billy been going nuts to get, and Amazon drove him nuts about. So, and once again, fuck Amazon. But anyway, with that being said, welcome to the Pro Wrestling Smoke side of the show. And you know how we started off. Let's go all the way back to 1975. Back when Florida was the shit, and Georgia Championship Wrestling, and you also had Southeast Championship Wrestling, and we also had the legendary Velvet Voice. And we're talking about the one and only Gordon Solie, telling you about the souffle. So with that being said, now we introduce and bring to you the Gordon Solie Poetry Corner.
Welcome, friends, to another edition of Gordon Solie's Poetry Corner. Today, there are not a lot of great thinkers out there, but I would like to take a moment to give a little ode to the great thinkers. We have all become great thinkers today. We no longer look upon the world's greatest thinkers as any form of authority. We have become so busy mouthing the great eyes that the real thinkers have been left to the wayside. Advertising and publicity have done much to destroy anyone's ability to think a problem or set thereof through clearly. What has happened to the day when the scholar lived and learned with the teacher? What better way to learn than to live each part of the day with a great thinker? And just remember, folks, as you continue to learn, you continue to evolve. And as long as you evolve, you're heading in the right direction. Kavanaugh?
Yeah, and we're back. You know, as usual, it's wonderful to hear the great Gordon Solie talk, and one of the greatest commentators. And like I said, if you haven't had a chance, go check out and subscribe to the Premium Smoke Room for Pro Wrestling Smoke, which is our premium podcast. We actually talked about what made us fall in love with professional wrestling. It's a very good episode. Y'all should check it out. Subscribe for $4.99 a month, plus also 4 other wonderful premium podcasts for you to enjoy. And while we waiting for Mr. Gerald to come in, been watching my wrestling a little bit, MLW, watch a little NWA and what's been going on with that and stuff. And of course, I like to start off with, let's go over to the pond to merry old England, and some stuff that I found interesting over there, Mr. Pilgrim. I swear, for some apparent reason, England, their bookers know how to book fucking angles, man. And I'm going to tell you how crazy it is. How do you get the title over somebody without pinning them? And it doesn't involve a three-way. Which brings me to this. Jonathan Gresham is no longer the Progress Wrestling champion. Actually, he was stripped of the belt as of yesterday. Due to the angle that been running is that he has been running with this crew, this tag team called Lycos Gym. And they're the English equivalent of if the Rock and Roll Express wore a mask and came from England. You know?
Black Wall Street is now online, baby. That's right. Visit the GW District. Shop the very best in men's and women's apparel and accessories, home decor, office supplies, books, pantry items, and so much more. The GW District is a retail marketplace of Black-owned products and media. We're both veteran and Black-owned, and we're bringing you the best online shopping experience with products made by small businesses. Come and experience the GW District difference today at shopgwdistrict.com. That's shopgwdistrict.com. The GW District, a retail marketplace of Black-owned products and media.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
All right, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, we still wait for Mr. Joe. We're back from commercial break. As you know, it was a commercial break that me and Anchor dropped it. So either way, it's a commercial. So we still wait for Mr. Gerald Roberts. But now I was talking about, what's the last thing you heard?
About going to a live wrestling event.
Damn. You missed the whole shit. Okay, let's rehash that. All right.
Okay.
What's up, Mr. Roberts?
Ooh, that's so loud, man. I'm trying to go deaf. What's up, guys?
Oh my God, what's going on, brothers? What's going on? And people that you hear, our guest is here in the building, and it was funny because the Anchor booted us off, and he didn't even hear what I was telling him. But I was talking about I was wanting to go over the pond and discuss what I saw when it came to Progress Wrestling, and it's kind of like, to me, I've been breaking for weeks about ICW and Progress Wrestling and their storylines and their booking and how there seem to be better bookers on their side of the pond than on this side of the pond in many ways. And recently, if everyone knows, Jonathan Gresham was the champion over in Progress. And he recently was stripped of the title. Now, what was interesting with the storyline that was going is that he has aligned himself with Lycos Gym, which is a heel tag team faction. They're very good. They were former tag champs. First, I find it interesting that Gresham, this is the only promotion I ever seen him as a heel. And he worked the matches as a heel. He's damn good as a heel. I can see him be a heel. I would like to see him be a heel in Ring of Honor at some point.
Jonathan Gresham?
Yeah. I'm telling you, if you got Peacock, go look at his matches on Progress, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
That's the 5'2" guy, right? Who's married to what's her name?
Jordan Grace. Fine ass Jordan Grace. But
he's black, right?
Yeah.
All these names is getting too much for me, and sometimes I confuse them.
The octopus, as they call him. He can go now. He's a bad one. But recently they stripped him of the title because the owner made a caveat in the match that if there was any outside interference, he'll be automatically stripped of the title. And Lycos Gym interfered on purpose to cost him the title. But which I already know.
Oh yeah, it's not like a Ring of Honor thing. Like if you interfere, like you terminate or something like that.
Yeah. Well, no, I know why Progress did it was because one, Gresham was injured. And I'm pretty sure at some point, now that he's signed with AEW, that why would I let Gresham go wrestle for the company that is on the same channel as that of the WWE? You know what I'm saying? Because of course, on Peacock. So I'm pretty sure he was going to shut that down at some point. Cause I was even shocked that they even gave the belt to Gresham. And that's how they got the belt of him or what have you. And to Billy, this is gonna sound funny, Billy. Now, Bill, we talked about who had the lose leave town match that we talked about that was recent.
Jared. Oh wait, Jerry Lawler and Dundee.
Yeah, okay. Recently, what is going on with England and loser leave town matches? We had one with NXT UK, which was a barn burner with Jordan Devlin and Ilya of Dragunov. That shit was good. Man, it was good. Man, that was to me, that was the match of the year for NXT UK, straight up. Even though I think Jordan Devlin probably end up, Gerald probably would end up going to NXT 2.0 at some point.
No, let's hope not.
He must have pissed somebody off.
I know he'd be like, "Can you please just put me on the main roster? If I'm gonna be shitty, at least let me be shitty on the main roster."
On the main roster. Well, then again, if I look at it, would you rather be shitty in a force so I can see you, or in NXT? So maybe you should go to NXT.
I mean, because to me, it's kind of like he would be one of the most experienced motherfuckers there, if not the most experienced, honest.
Yeah, but they're gonna do him like they did all the other NXT guys. Give him a stupid name and a stupid gimmick.
No, they're gonna call him Devlin. There's gonna be his name.
It's something stupid. So look like the poor I forgot his real name now. Butch. I forgot what's his name?
Pete Dunne.
Yeah, Pete Dunne and Dewdrop and all them other people and Oscar and fucking the list goes on and on.
Yeah, I swear he liked the one name, that dang. If he was back in the day, it wouldn't have been no Hulk Hogan, it would have been just Hulk.
Well, no, it would have been
Hulk versus Macho. Hold on, Macho. He would have took away the man. It would have been Hulk versus Macho for the WWF World Title. But back to what I was saying about Progress. They're about to have a loser leave Progress match. I quit match to be exact, with their biggest heel, Spike Trevant.
This is recently?
They just announced it. Because the match they had yesterday ended in a double DQ. Because the match just got just out of hand. And plus it was enough so there's 2 loser leaves town matches. And I was like, somebody must have went back and looked at the Jerry Lawler and the Dundee and said, you know something, we need to do this here. Period. And because even with Daniel Bryan, I think when I guess he left the company, they did where he got to leave SmackDown. But to me, I just find it funny that those matches are now popping up now.
Because Daniel Bryan matches, you can't find them on Peacock.
Say what?
You can't find the Daniel Bryan matches on Peacock.
No. What I was saying was, I remember Daniel Bryan had a loser leave SmackDown match, or it was a stipulation where he supposed to leave SmackDown if he didn't beat Roman Reigns.
That was last year.
Yeah. So I'm just curious. I just find it funny why everyone's going with that storyline, and which also.
Jesus, I mean, if I was in WWE, I'd also put my match up if I win, I gotta leave.
Yeah, you ain't gonna lie, guys.
If I win,
that'd be the most hardest fought match you see ever. But Billy, you did story in this. Why do you think? When it comes, why do you think wrestling promotions are starting to use that stipulation again?
I have honestly no idea. With WWE, they have so many different stupid shows and different brands. It's like the closest, but it's the same thing with AEW and their quote unquote Texas Death Match. It's like actually not a Texas Death Match, so you need to stop calling it that or actually have one. If you're not going to actually honor the stipulation and actually have the person either leave town, that's the thing. It doesn't even have to be permanent. You could be like, oh, they leave town for 90 days or something, and then they don't commit because the match itself is not the story. It's the aftermath of the match that's a story. And normally when the good guy lost, it was either he came back under a mask, a la Midnight Rider, the Yellow Dog in Florida, or maybe the bad guy did it occasionally, sometimes, or the bad guy went to a different territory, but usually it furthered the storyline. And it's one of those things where people just got lazy with the booking. It didn't, they don't really have respect for the fans. To me, when you lazy book or when you don't want to do rematches or you fast track something, that's just you being lazy, and not wanting, because again, when you write a story or you're putting together something to like report on, the idea is fun and there's parts of the writing process that are fun, but then there's like, writing is hard work, and it's a lot of tediousness to it to maintain the storyline. And quote unquote bookers now, they're lazy. So I think it's become like a new crutch, and it's become like a little bit of a fad. And my thing is, if you're not gonna either use it to further a feud or just make it interesting when a guy leaves, then don't do it. Enough stuff has been damaged in wrestling by lazy ass bookers and and lazy ass wrestlers just relying too much on like tropes. It's talking about we don't fall for old wrestling tropes, motherfucker. You use 3 tables and 2 chairs on the way to the ring. It's like, I hate to break the news to you, but if I was a modern day wrestler, I would make it a point, like, no, you're not using a goddamn table in my match, and you're not bringing unless you're gonna bring that chair in, you're gonna swing it for the heavens, and you better bust me open. And I'm not even gonna block the chair shot. You better make it a headshot, and you better bust me open, because we're gonna make an angle out of it. Because it's just a lot of laziness and when it comes to that sort of thing.
Yeah. Because I think if I was a booker in this day and age, I would go look back at some of those angles and use them, and use some of them, or up to date them, because there was some good fucking angles that was there. Even from Mid-South, some of the shit that Watts did, some of the stuff that even was I can even think of on the end of Florida. Even to where the Dusty Rhodes turned back in the day, when he turned on his 2 tag partners, because he got tired of him. He kept getting hit in the match by mistake, and after a while he said, fuck it. Period. It's a lot of things. It's because even to the point, like, I think they should bring back, like, when they showed what happened the week before, have him sit down and commentate about the shit. He talking about it. I think that should be brought back to the new school, because I think that was cool as hell back in the day. I don't know if Gerald remember those days. How old are you, Gerald?
27.
Oh no, so you don't. I don't think you did. You grow up on the WCW, Tony Schiavone. What was it? David Crockett.
Nope, I was either 5 or 6 when WCW closed their doors.
Yeah,
I wasn't watching no wrestling. I vaguely remember. Well, I think like a little bit, like a what, 3-4 years old, perhaps younger, like a little baby, and like I was like, before I go to bed, right, I'll fall asleep in the living room, and my cousins would have it on, stuff like that, have wrestling on, like the Attitude Era stuff from WWE. The first time I watched wrestling, my sisters actually put me onto it. It was that 2002, 2003, 2004 era, like SmackDown on Thursday nights, and that's how I got my start. So I started watching my first time became a regular wrestling fan was in 2004 when JBL was a champion, and then from there just got to from there.
Yeah, when I think about JBL as champ, he had a pretty decent reign though. I wasn't mad at it. I wasn't mad at it at all. I actually liked his character in the whole nine. And what I liked
beat
about
like every top babyface.
Yeah. And him and Cena, their feud was, I loved it.
The Cena JBL feud, I was so hyped when Cena was going to win the title.
So now there's some news real quick that I want to get to before we move into some AEW stuff. And my man, which I'm so jealous of, went to go see live. Ric Flair is coming back to the ring.
Allegedly, I've heard.
Okay, then let's go. Let's unpack this. Do we want to see Rick come back?
No.
Do we want to see Rick wrestle again?
No, I mean it's
come back for what? Like come back for who?
I mean, I personally don't want to see it, but I mean, if somebody will clear him, he'll do it. Like he never wanted to retire in the first place,
Like he retired in 2008, right? Like against Shawn Michaels. But like before that, when I first started watching Raw in 2005, like I'm thinking, why is this guy still? I would feel so bad to see him take a back bump or like see him get hit. Like why is he this old? It's like watch my grandma wrestle. Like I don't want to see this old person get beat up. Whatever.
It like this.
Fall the thumbtack, get bloodied up.
For any fans that gonna say this, I'm about to kill that right here. Do not compare this to Ricky Morton. Ricky Morton is younger than Rick, in better shape than Rick.
How many years ago was it when he almost died?
I'm saying, but he's 3 years removed from that. I think 3 to 4 years.
Because I actually met him the week before his health, right before he went into the coma. I met him literally a week before that happened, or like less than a week. He didn't look good either. When I met him, he was at my restaurant that I was working at, and I went up to him, and he could tell he was not feeling well and everything, but he was engaging, and he looked me in the eye and everything, and was giving me his time. And I think it was like 2 words in, I realized like, oh, he's not feeling well or something. So I tried to kind of speed the conversation along as much as possible, whatever. But he was still, he would have sat there probably and talked to me for 20 minutes if I wanted it. But yeah, it was about 4 years because it was like in the spring, I believe. So it's been about 4 years, give or take. No, wait, it's 2017. No, wait, it's 5.
Damn. So that's 5 years near-death experience. So it's like, I mean, because I watched the workout that he did with Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
Did he look good? Yeah. For the moveset that he can do in the ring, it depends. It like this to me. Just devil's advocate. If he goes, I can't see him doing the bumps that he used to do. And not many bumps as it is.
Yeah, remember when Orton kicked him in the head like 2 years ago on Raw? They couldn't even show that. They couldn't even. They turned the lights off so the rank like miss on purpose.
Yeah,
he can't take a bump.
No, he too fucking old. Shit. So, but
what the fuck? If he can't even take a fake kick, like. What the fuck? I don't. Okay.
I'm trying to figure out who the fuck is gonna wrestle this dude if it happens.
Well, probably Jay.
I hope so.
Who he said?
Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
You ever saw their feud in TNA? The Jay Lethal Ric Flair feud?
Yes, I loved it. I loved it. And Jay can do him spot on. Jay can do him spot on, yo. Oh
my god! I gotta tweet that clip and tag you in it of the Jay Lethal Ric Flair promo. There's two of them.
That's what Jay Lee. See, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Now there's two of them. There's one where he comes up for the first time, and like, and I'm hearing this for the first time. I'm thinking, are they playing Ric Flair sound bites over the mic, over the speakers? No, that's Jay Lethal doing a Ric Flair impression. And then the second time, right, when it's gonna have a match, Flair cut this fucking awesome promo. Because Jay Lethal saying, "Oh, this is my mom because she was just a huge fan of yours and she wanted me to whatever the fuck, right?" It's like Flair said, "I could give a rat's ass about your mother. The old lady was living vicariously through you because she wouldn't deal with me. Okay, I'm the nature boy. I'm a wrestling god. Okay, everywhere I go, everywhere I've been, there's fuck. What the fuck did he say? I can't repeat it. Man, he said a lot of shit. I was like, oh my god. He said,
let me tell you this. See, you never was. You have to go back to YouTube. I know you done went to YouTube and checked out the old Flairs. That is the Flair. Don't get it twisted. He always gave the great promos, but those promos when he was young, Jesus. Just one in particular I was thinking about. Baby Doll came out. I think this is when Baby Doll had just switched from Tully, and she was with Dusty. And she came out and told Tully and Flair, just let you know y'all next. Because it was right, I think, if I'm right, Billy, this was around the time where he had hurt Ole Anderson. When he came back after they broke his leg, I think. And Rick was like, you talk all this shit, If you went on Space Mountain, you'd be like this. This nigga passed the fuck out on the goddamn floor. I died. I was like, oh shit. That was Rick. It was like, Rick is one of those, him, Dusty, more so than Hogan. Got people
He's a very gifted monologist, a very gifted orator, or
you can't you love to hate him. Mm-hmm. It was like my grandma couldn't stand him, but you love to watch him. And it's kind of like that's where it, to me, the next person to that level, that modern version, which is a nice segue from this, is MJF. Because 2024 is going to be very interesting. Because this is going to be like the equivalent of LeBron James type level shit, the way that they acting right about now. So I'm going to ask y'all this, and I want each y'all to answer. What you think will happen in 2024 with MJF?
There's so many variables to that too, because like they so far they're like not messing Cody up, but like it's not really like because okay, MJF is a star, and I think he's worth like more than damn near the entire AEW roster.
Mm-hmm.
And he could be a star wherever he goes. He is potentially the biggest heel in WWE or wherever. I think that the WWE, or whoever's in charge by then, is out of their mind if they don't sign this guy whatever he wants and push him to the fucking moon. A bidding war? Tony Khan is out of his mind if he doesn't try to bid what's in the MJF back. That's what I think. But because nothing surprises me anymore with the WWE. Like it's not guaranteed that he'll be the star he can be in WWE, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I just fear for that. That's my only concern. It's like, will they have enough sense to push him properly?
Okay.
And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about that, really. What do you think?
What you think, Billy?
I think part of it. I think it's part work. I think depending, as long as they don't book him like they did that year he was in the feud with Jericho, I think he'd be crazy to leave. They're gonna eventually put the belt on him, because when Punk beats the Rhinestone Cowboy after a decent reign, the one guy that I would think you would have him lose the title to would be MJF. And I'm sorry to any wrestling fan out there, all right? You need to pass on whatever you're taking if you think for one fraction of 1 second that the WWE would know what to do with MJF or would get the fuck out of his way, because we're talking about a guy, and he is the literal example of everything we talk about on the show about being different, standing out. Like again, Orange Julius. He's very competent wrestler, but there is nothing interesting or unique about his moveset or his wrestling ability. It's literally everybody does the same thing. He goes out there and he wrestles. He doesn't do high spot. He doesn't do dazzling moves. He knows how to cut a promo. He's like legitimately old school heel brought to modern times. We're talking about a guy that literally, I've heard stories that like a handicapped kid will come up to him at an autograph signing and go, MJF, how are you doing? And he'll fire back without thinking twice about it and say, better than you. And that is brilliant. And that is the kind of, like, that's why he stands out above, and I don't give a fuck what wrestler you name. He stands out above everybody because he dares to be different, and he doesn't smile. He only baby faces in the one area that he knows he can be a baby face in, and even then he does it in a really condescending heelish fashion. It's genius. And the WWE is going to make him smile and wave and hug a fucking kid with cancer. Like, oh, he's got a flipper, so let's have MJ run on the beach in slow motion with him and make his dream come true. And then go on TV and like kick somebody in the head, because WWE wouldn't know what to do with this fucking guy. It literally, it'd be like fucking. It'd be like making pork chops on Passover. Like, that's how fucking clueless WWE would be with this guy. If MJF wants to, live below his means or live on a tight budget for a few years, and maybe he gets married and he wants to have a nest egg and send his kid to a really good Ivy League college, sure, go to WWE and just cash that check, because that's all the WWE is good for these days, is cashing the check. He'd be a fool. He'd be a fool to leave AEW for the WWE. Maybe Ring of Honor, if Ring of Honor is up and running really well by then, but they would ruin him in a week.
He ain't even touching that.
He doing Ring of Honor.
It's this what I think, and then I'm gonna let you speak, Gerald. He had no issue letting Cody go because he's going to keep his pillars straight. Khan is not stupid. See, people keep forgetting Khan also, dad runs a sports franchise, 2 of them. One of them being football.
Well, not well.
Granted, it's Jacksonville.
Into the ground, he stopped.
And the soccer team sucks, apparently.
Yeah, I don't need to say no more about that guy. But the point being, even in negotiation, business-wise, he's going to wait till the end of MJF's term to negotiate. He's not going to, because one, if he does that, now you set the precedent for other motherfuckers that want to do it too. Period. But MJF knows that dude's going to break the bank to keep him, because the real
keep going.
The real loss for AEW is not a Cody. It's not a CM Punk. It's one of them young boys that they know 10 years from now is going to be that big of a star. Because let's be real, out of the crop that's in NXT versus the crop that AEW got, I can name 4 right now that's going to be iconic. There's going to be the Hook off the top of my dome. Of course, Darby. And these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? You can say Jungle Boy. And then right now, I'm talking about the young crop. I would say Dante, but I think your boy Max Caster is that dark horse.
But that means they actually have to win a match.
If he goes solo, yeah. I got a strange feeling if he goes solo. You feel me? But I know with the young guys that he has, he's not going to let them go, because he knows, for me, he sees the writing on the wall. WWE, their crop of new talent,
Here's the other thing that people aren't realizing. It's not like, oh, they want to sign a year extension. They want to sign a whole new contract. So he has 2 years to show his value as to why you need to pay me more. And they have 2 years to show him why you should stay. Because if they sign him for another 5 years, well, then they could make him a jabroni again when that whole Jericho. Because they, for the first half of AEW's existence, they fucking mismanaged MJF like amazingly bad. So at least in the next 2 years, they could both show why, one, this is why you should stay. Well, this is why you should pay me more money. Now, if I get signed to a company tomorrow and they like, and we're 6 months in and they like what I'm doing and I'm making good sales for them, and they come up and they go, hey, we want to extend it another year. Well, then, yes, by all means. So yes, you're like, instead of waiting 6 months, sign another year. But if it's like
a contract, it's not about what you just did. It's the projection of what you're going to do next.
Yeah, so, and that's the thing. And a year contract. Well, another year, and we're 6 months in. Sure, why not make it a 2-year deal? Whereas if it was like a 3-year deal, and the first 6 months in, they're like, we want to re-sign you to whatever, it'd be like, no, I'm not going anywhere, and I'm very happy. But let's wait till a year out, so I could really, because once they get you, and then they can kind of rest. They got in those wrestling contracts. They're technically supposed to be independent contractors. So I mean, those contracts are, their legal viability has always been suspect. If somebody has the money to take it to court and fight it, especially WWE, like they're on a house of cards. All it's going to take is one high-end lawyer willing to do some pro bono, or it's going to take one proper federal investigation or something, and they're going to be completely fucked because their contracts, like, oh, you have to give us like more than half of everything you make in other ventures, and you can't go anywhere or do anything without our permission, but we can fire you at any time, and you don't really work for us. You're an independent contractor. Like that, the only reason why that's still standing is because no one's really been able to take it to court and fight it, because it's the most absurd fucking thing. That's why, sometimes you meet people in the industry and they'll sit there and tell you, like, well, if you want to fuck with me, you can't fuck with that person, or you can't shoot with them. And I'm like, all right, well, if you don't want me to shoot with them, then what are you doing? What are we doing? Like, you're going to have me close a bunch of doors because I'm not working with this person. That means next time you got something coming up, I better be your number one motherfucker on that deal. And I don't give a shit who the other male talent is. I better be number one, like the one you're taking care of, because you're asking me, I'm an independent contractor. I'm out there grinding. You're asking me to turn away people and not associate with people because you don't like them. So now I expect something in return, which means, you got a hot girl coming through, you got a new website opening up, you got whatever. Well, then I am your number one. I don't give a fuck. Richard Mann, Thor, J-Max, Sean Lawless. Nope. Me. I'm first. And then when I get tired, then you can bring somebody else in, because, the WWE gets away with murder, literally. And it's only going to be a matter of time before that house of cards falls. So I think it's part work. And I think like I said, he'd be an idiot to not resign, because there's not any other company right now that's going to let him beat MJF.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to break the bank for him. Because also I can say the same thing about Wardlow.
Because, definitely Wardlow. I mean, there's another one. That's the other thing. I think this is my prediction for the lineage of the title in the next year and a half. It's going to be Punk, it's going to be MJF, and then it's going to be Wardlow. Within the next 18 months, the next 3 title changes: Punk, MJF, and then Wardlow. Because that's like right now, those are the 3 stars. And I'm sure, or what's his face might weasel his way back into the title picture, but that would be my next 3 champions if I was booking.
Okay. Speaking about AEW,
yeah, you can hear.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, you actually went to Dynamite this past week, man. So tell us about your trip to Dynamite. And also, I'm gonna let you spearhead the discussion of, AEW, what went on and all that good stuff.
Well, first, I would be remiss not to tell you like the day I had leading up to me finally be able to.
Hey, do you enjoy the pro wrestling punditry that we're giving you on Pilgrim Wrestling? Well, guess what? You can get some extra pro wrestling punditry, as well as a deeper dive into pro wrestling. I'm talking about Pro Wrestling Smoke, a premium podcast on the premium smoke room on the lounge for $4.99 a month. One of 5 podcasts that you get to enjoy, and I'm talking about weekly. So subscribe to the premium smoke room and check out Pro Wrestling Smoke, where me and Billy, we gets it in and we discuss and debate different topics from the prettiest and the best looking belt of all time to modern wrestling, the territory days, old school, what have you. He's the history, I'm the modern. So subscribe for $4.99 a month to the Premium Smoke Room and check out Pro Wrestling Smoke. Now, smoke that over. Sorry
All
about
right.
that, brother. That was my fault. Back for commercial break. Billy should be punching in soon or later, what have you. But I'm sorry about that, and he's here. So go ahead, continue to tell us about your day leading up to heading to AEW Dynamite.
It was actually a good thing to cut off too, because I was able to reconnect my headphones. That's why I like to talk to you guys right now. So the day of, right? So this doesn't even begin. The story doesn't even begin the day of the show. Because I told you how I know people, and how this dude said that well, don't worry, bro, I got you for 2 tickets you and your girl could go see. It's like, all right, cool. And so I don't really know how this stuff goes down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking like, do I meet up with you the day before? Do I meet up with you the day of? Like, how's it gonna work? Like, right? So I'm calling him, texting every few days, right? Like, just to know what's the word, what's going on. Because I heard that they sold out. That's another story too. Because your Meltzers of the world reported that the AEW venue in UBS at the UBS Arena in Long Island, New York, sold out. And what's it called? So I heard sold out. So if I didn't buy tickets now, if I had already bought tickets, right, and and I don't get to connect to my guy, then I can't go. And I kind of hyped it up so much that I'm a little dumb if I no show. I mean, if I don't provide or don't come through with this with these tickets, because what's it called? Yeah.
Now, before you finish, so people can understand, some of the tickets are comp tickets, because with any concert, what have you, is tickets that are already put to the side for certain people that they can use and they had to pay for whatever reason.
I didn't know. Like, are they comps? Like, I didn't know.
It might have been, or it could have been he couldn't go to the show. I mean, I don't know, but I know they do that sometimes. Because even when I have gotten comp tickets, there was an employee of UNC that had gotten tickets for a UNC basketball game. You know what I'm saying? Just because you worked at UNC. So it was kind of like, comp ticket they put to the side, what have you. So that might have been where he got them from in race history. But go ahead, finish telling your story.
Well, the thing with the UBS, right? So like if they're having like tickets, so let's say that Sesame Street or whoever, or WWE or AEW, right? Whoever is coming there, right? They would sometimes give some comp tickets out to the UBS office to see if they can give to the employees or whoever free. And so what's it called? Like I know people who work there. I know the person in charge personally. and stuff like that. And so I'm asking him, yo, did y'all get anything from AEW? I was like, nah, we didn't really get anything from them. But we'll let you know, stuff like that. So what's it called? So I don't know. That was the case. So I spoke to them, right? It's like, oh, we don't have anything. So over here, my boy Ama, right? He wouldn't mind me saying his name of the year. Ama, he was saying, oh, I'm trying to go to AEW show. You too? Like, yeah. He goes, bro, I got you. My brother works the ticket booth, and so I could get tickets from him. I said, you sure? Yeah. How much you need, bro? One, two? I was like, two, I guess. All right, I got you. I said, you sure you got me? All right, you sure? All right, bet. So cool. So I'm calling. So like, the days leading up to it, right? Days pass by. I already know what to expect. So I'm just calling just to touch space. Like, so what I do? I come by the day up. Come by the day before. Like, how do I do this? Whatever. Right? How's it gonna go down? And so no response, no text, no phone call, nothing. And if you have WhatsApp, right, you could tell they read your message or see your call because they have the two blue check marks next to it. And so forth, and they were both gray. So he didn't acknowledge my message. He didn't get my message or get my call, whatever. Right? So it's ringing out. So it's the day of the show, right? And my girl was texting me saying, "Yo, she was like, yo, what's the word with tonight? Because I'm working right now, so I want to know if I should leave, go home, or come straight here, whatever. Like, I'll let you know, right? So again, I ain't hear nothing from this dude. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to go because it's my first time going to the UBS Arena. I've been to the Garden, I've been to the Barclays Center, I've been to the Coliseum, I've been to Arthur Ashe. I never once been to the UBS Arena. It opened last year. And hold on, I'm getting a text from never mind, somebody else. So I called him, but yo, you work today? To see if I could come catch him this, see what's up, right? But he didn't answer again. So I had to hop on the bus, right? Because the car was gone. I left my house. I hopped on the bus, right? I didn't take a bus in a long time. That was so weird. Anyway, I hopped on the bus, and first of all, the bus wasn't even trying to go because when it came, right, this dude came on and he didn't pay. He just walked on back, and the bus driver was like, "Yo, bro, and I'll leave it until you pay." And the dude ain't saying that. We just sitting there looking all crazy. So yeah, you know what? Nah, service no more. So I couldn't even get there. I was like, boy, stop. Come on. Stop. Come on. Can you just go? I'll pay for it, motherfucker. Shit. Right? And then, so what's it called? Thankfully, a bus came up behind us, right? So we just hopped on that one, right? He told me, I'll service whatever. So I'll go there, right? And I get to the UBS Arena, right? And I see it's like what, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And the truck is already, the AEW truck is already there, and you see them, right? The truck is already there, right? You have all these barricades set up, right?
Yeah, the truck and everything. You would on Instagram.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so I had best of it here, right? And then I'm looking for him. Cause I'm not sure. I'm looking for the guy who got me, right? Cause I want to know what's going on. I haven't heard from you in a while. It's still good, right? And so I'm looking over. He's not in the lobby. He's not in the markets. He's not on the what you call it, he's nowhere to be found. I was in the entire place, nowhere to be found, right? And so I see them. I was having so much fun looking for this guy because I was actually got to see them get peek at them, setting up, and I saw Powerhouse Hobbs, this regular close, just chilling. I see Darby Allin. Darby had that spot that he did off the ladder. He rehearsed that shit. These motherfuckers rehearsed this shit. Cause I see them reading shit and talking to each other. Heels very faces alike. MJF just chilling like a regular guy, not breaking character, whatever. I thought that was kind of cool. And it was fun. I could get mad trouble.
You got there real early.
Yeah, because I'm trying to find this guy to say he got me the tickets. Right? I'm trying to find this motherfucker to say he got me because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to go now because this is so fucking cool. I'm this close to these motherfuckers. And so I got my girl on my back, right? Because now she's in the air, on your back, you gotta be more assertive. You can't be wasting my time. And then so it's still my back, right? So I'm going out there. So I FaceTime. I was like, yo, I'm here. Oh, it's mad cool. Yo, where the tickets at? I don't know. The guy's not here. I can't find him. I don't know what's going on. So you know what? I said, fuck it. I'll let you know. I'll let you know what happens. You want to eat? No, I'm good. Whatever. So I'm actually leaving, right? And then I finally see this motherfucker like in the lounge. Not the lounge, like there's two lounges. The Dime Club Lounge, not that lounge. That's the employee lounge because he works there, right? And I finally see the motherfucker. I was like, yo, what's up? What happened? Like I've been trying to like reach you for days. Like, what's going on? Oh, my fault, bro. My mom in the hospital. I can't rebuild my phone like that. And I'm not gonna lie, like I believe him, and for two reasons, right? That's my guy. He's like he's not a foul guy. Like if he says something happened, then I'm gonna give him benefit of the doubt because he's good. He's good people. He wouldn't like intentionally fuck with you, like wrong you, right? And I've been in hospitals plenty of times, so like I know that they be jamming up your phone signal, all that stuff. So I kind of like my mom in hospital, whatever, right? It's like, damn, crazy, my fault. I'm sorry. I know I've been blowing you up. Nah, you good. Listen, I didn't get. My brother said, nah, it wasn't happening. Your brother said, well, why not? Because he said a bunch of shit. I don't remember, but long story short, he said it wasn't happening. I was like, fuck. But yo, bro, next time I got you. You know what? What's it called? Yo, see if they still selling tickets right now, and I'll pay you back. So what's it called, right? So I was a Ticketmaster, right? They still got like seats available. So all that shit they be saying about we sold out is bullshit.
You just figured that out, man. You just figured that out.
I mean, like,
welcome to the party.
Bro. Well, Jesus.
Look, I went to a WCW Fall Brawl. Lied to you not. On the pay-per-view, because I remember my homie told me. He said, man, they said it was sold out. I said, that shit won't even quarter of the sold out of this bitch. What you talking about? No, I mean, it's like put it this way. When they have a quota of certain tickets that they want to sell. Anything over that is extra. So, like, if they say a place holds, let's say 10,000 people, or let's say 15,000, or depends what have you. The seats is based off of the setup of the wrestling venue. Like, when they say they sold out Dorton Arena, no, they sold out Dorton Arena because Dorton Arena had the cheap seats all the way down to ringside. There was and there was no big ass stage. There wasn't no setup. The guys came out the back, through some doors, and they walk out. You get what I'm saying? Not like what WWE got a whole setup with a stage that takes up about 6 rows of the fucking spot that they're, doing the arena that they're doing it out of. You feel where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so they go ahead.
Nah, but I was pleasantly surprised they still had like seats available, and it wasn't like exactly like like a lot, but like it wasn't like a little bit either. You know what I'm saying, that makes any sense. It's still a good seats, and I'll say this right now, right? Like the same way I feel about sneakers, right, and like other name brand stuff. It's the same way I feel about like event seats, like venue seats, like right, like. You're a fucking fool if you spend like hundreds and thousands of dollars for like the fucking floor seats or like hundreds, perhaps thousands of dollars on fucking name brand Jordans or glasses or clothes or whatever the fuck. And it's not about Gerald, you're being simple or you're being cheap. No, like I think the seats in the middle or even the high seats are fine as long as I can see and enjoy the show. They're just like how I think you're a fucking fool if you buy like sneakers for more than like $40-$50. What else? So I had like good seats. Two tickets cost me like what? About $175. So like one and $750 that I spent that day. And those like, yo, I got you. I'll pay you back, and I got you next time you come over here. I was like, bro, don't even worry about you good, because that's not really like a lot of money to me. I'm saying like stuff like that. So like, I'm sweating. You still cool, right? As long as you get to see my show, right? Then we good, right? All right, cool. So I buy the tickets, and then, all right, you know what? I got a lot of time left until the start. So let me head back home. Let me shower, change my clothes, relax a little bit, and come back here. And then we came. Then my girl, she came. She parked the car at the church, which you're not really supposed to do. But like, I mean, don't worry, I got you. If they give you any shit, just call me. I'll tell them. I'll put them straight. What's it called? So we hopped on the bus. Because there's like a free shuttle bus that takes us from the Queens Village Long Island Railroad Station to the UBS Arena. It does that because they're doing track work with the Long Island Railroad. So the Belmont train isn't really like operational yet. So they have like a shuttle bus that takes you from Queens Village to Belmont, which is where the UBS is. What's it called? So we took the free shuttle bus to there, right? And so we get there, right? And so like I'm not using the back entrance because even though I have my pass, right? I'm with her, so my mom says like, all right, so where's the main entrance? So we like go to the event, right? I got the tickets on my phone. They're e-tickets, of course. And there's like a moderately long line, but we get there with no problem, right? And then we put our shit through the scanner machine, right? And I brought my book bag there because it has my notebook inside of it, right? Because like I take notes, because I write about this stuff, right? And what's it called? The first time in my life ever, a motherfucker told me, "Oh, I can't bring my bag in. So I got to put it in bag check." What? So I gotta give. Why? Why? So what?
I mean, you is in
okay.
New York, bro.
Y'all being so. Oh, y'all being. But I've been to the Barclays. I've been to the Garden. I've been to the Coliseum. You're the only ones I keep my book bag in. The fuck? Like, why do you guys check it if you don't? Whatever. Because we put through a scan. You gotta open your bag so you can like look through it. So why do you guys look through it if I whatever? That shit got me annoyed. So, and you know what's funny? Next time, like what I could have done in hindsight, and next time also, right? I'll just go to the employee. I'll just go to the like employee's entrance, right? Because I got my ID with me, my badge, and meet up with her. Bring all my shit with me. Meet up with her at the fucking at the what you call it, the hall where you go sit down. What the fuck, right? People here there, or but yeah. Next time I won't even buy a ticket. I just go use my employee badge and fucking just go in there for free next time because I'm a fucked up person. I'll do that. Don't get me tight.
I would have done that anyway.
Nah, because we could have very well done that. Ain't nobody. There was one dude posted up, right? But like that dude wasn't well seated, so like I ain't got my ticket or nothing. I just walked on by. Nobody was there, stopping or nothing. I'm like, this is bullshit. I spent damn near $20 to come in for free. Fuck you. What else? That happened, and so we get there. It's like after 7 o'clock, right? So they're taping the dark tapings, right? AEW Dark,
yeah.
Right? And so we didn't really care for that because it's a YouTube show, and we'll see it again like afterwards anyway, right? So I spent like that first hour going to the bathroom, getting stuff to eat, and I was showing her around. Like, these are my boys. That's Brandon. That's what's his name. This is the Dime Club. You could chill here. This is the smoking area. This is nothing to eat. I'm saying like I got you because what's it called? Not only like do they fuck with me enough to give me free food, right? But like they know you're my girl, so they got you too. And also I know where to go. I know. So like okay, so the good places that got good stuff like the Chinese place and the the other places. What's it called? The place that Shaq owns. What's that shit called? Big Chicken by Shaq. Shaq owns it. He was there to open the place. Big Chicken, right? All the good stuff was gone. So all he had was like ballpark shit, like hot dogs and sausages and fucking tenders and burgers and all that fucking wax generic stuff that you get anywhere, right? All the good shit was closed for a reason, right? Whatever. So I told her like how I can like just sneak back here to this place that close and get free shit, right? Whatever the fuck, right? So we just spent the first hour just walking around, showing her around, right? And I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of cool because like I'll be like, oh, don't worry, I got a pet. I'm just showing her around, and they see my badge, and they don't, and people just leave me alone because they think I work there, whatever the fuck, so like that. What's it called? It's a press badge I got, but like they can see, and they just let me rock and do whatever, I guess, stuff like that. And I even have a shirt, like a fucking UBS shirt in my bag, just in case that somebody could be shit. I could like wear it and think I worked there. But anyway, I didn't do that. So I sort her around for the first hour. We go back in time for the Dynamite to start, and the show starts, and we're having a good time. And then we walk out after Dynamite. We didn't feel stick around for a Rampage or the rest of the tapings or the other shit that he was taping. But yeah, that's pretty much how my day went.
So it was like after 10 o'clock, it was another 2 to 3 hours of them recording the other shit.
Yeah, so we had a Rampage, and they had
Yeah, right. I would have lived after that.
And they had other shit going on too. You know, I think on YouTube you see a clip of like Hook knocking out CM Punk and a bunch of other shit. And
choking him out with the red.
Yeah, and then Tony Khan was like, "Oh, big shit." Oh, by the way, it's like when Dynamite was like when commercial, Tony Khan came out from oh, thank you guys for coming out tonight. Just make sure you stick around after Dynamite. Yeah, I have an announcement for you guys. Be so fucking cool. It's like, I never learned what the announcement was.
So during the action, like when the matches were having, how was the crowd? Was it hot? Was it,
The crowd was hot and they had the chance, but like I even wrote this, right? It wasn't as hot as like the time I went to Arthur Ashe. Like that crowd was fucking on fire. Like a goddamn white hot sun. And this crowd, compared to that, the crowd was like kind of mild, but it was hot. But comparatively speaking, it was mild compared to like how they were at the Arthur Ashe arena. So I don't know what that was about, but it was hot. The crowd was hot. It was just comparatively less hot than the last time I went to an AEW show.
Well, since you was at the AEW show, let's talk about Dynamite and some of the action that went on there and stuff happening. From your eyesight, what was to you the match of the night?
The match of the night is reluctantly, I gotta say, Jeff Hardy versus Darby Allin in that fucking match. I gave 3 3/4 stars to my girl. Gave it 4.5. Fuck. In hindsight, like the more I look back at this match, the more I dislike it. But
Hey, how you doing? Let me tell you about a great deal. Why don't you come on over to the Premium Smoke Room? There ain't no smoke like Premium Smoke. I'm talking about 4 premium podcasts. I'm talking about Miss Spit Queen and the Porn Rap Star. I'm talking about Pilgrim on Wrestling. I'm talking about Causing Havoc with Princess Havoc, as well as the Reed Daily Report. Oh, I'm sorry, 5 STO Dark. Plus also extra premium episodes from some of the hottest ladies and gents in the business of porn. And all this for $4.99 a month. I'm talking about 5 to 6 extra episodes a week on top of the free shit that you get. So do the math. Great deal. Only on Spotify, only on Anchor. Come check me out. Come catch this premium smoke. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I know Billy gonna come in a second, but
I was telling about.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Darby. The match tonight you said was the Darby Allin and reluctantly Darby Allin and Jeff Hardy because that was the most heated match. That was the craziest match of the night. I like this match less and less every time I think about it in hindsight because Christ on the cross. Because shout to Sarah, she loves Jeff Hardy, but she doesn't understand something, and that's that this is not the same Jeff Hardy from like 5, 10, or 15 years ago. This is fucking Jeff Hardy, who's a recovering addict, who did a bunch of stupid and dangerous things back in the day. And because he's a recovering addict, he can't take painkillers. So I suspect he's always in fucking pain. And he looks
not
like
only that, the motherfucker old. It's like this, right? I saw a little bit pieces of the match or what have you. One, it's crazy how, for some apparent reason, every time you always, once you get Darby losing the match, once he hits like the coffin drop and then the dude rolls him to just roll him up on the bullshit pad. He gets that. Last year it was Cody.
Yeah. You think he'd learn? He stopped doing that move.
And Billy, what you thought about Darby and the Jeff Hardy match?
I didn't pay much attention to it. It's kind of just, I knew what kind of match it was going to be, and and honestly, I thought the wrong guy won.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, but Jesus Christ, that's twice that Darby Allin hit his finisher, and twice he lost immediately after. So something to consider there, buddy.
Yeah, because it's like, to me, I don't see the value of Jeff Hardy moving on in the Owen Hart tournament. You got the Hardy brothers there, push them in the tag team division. There you go.
Yeah.
You don't need to be in the world title hunt, the TNT title hunt. It's kind of like your pillar should be your final four in that Owen Hart. Period. Now I understand that, of course, MJF will not be in the Owen Hart tournament. You get where I'm coming from? It's kind of like, to me, I agree with Billy.
And that
yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that reminds me though, two things. Why isn't MJF in the tournament? And number two, why was Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin like a no DQ match? Why are some matches no DQ in tournament, and why are others like regular matches? Furthermore, why what's her name again? Chris Flatliner, right? Why is she able to like not qualify? I call her Flatliner because she's fucking dangerous. Why is she able to be announced in the tournament and never have to qualify? It's just a bunch of things to nitpick about that. Maybe because it's me. Like it's the small things for me. But like I just noticed these fine little details.
Because, I'm like that. See, now you think like me and Billy. To me, it should make some type of sense because you're gonna throw Chris Statlander into the tournament. One, Chris Statlander, opinion is not won this year. Period. You could have had. We know Sandra Dee. She's right now dealing in the title hunt. Okay. Many of the chicks that they could have. I'm sorry, saying chicks, women that they could have probably thrown in that spot that Chris Statlander could have beaten to explain why y'all gonna hand it to her. You feel what I'm saying? Period. So it's kind of like, to me, it once again is the way that they booking the women's shit. The way they booking is ridiculous. Like, Impact ended up becoming the better women division out of all of this shit.
Well, settle down now.
Dude,
Let's relax.
They're fast. But we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that once we get through AEW, excuse me. But
they have like what, 3 people I'll consider. So that's it.
Hey, they adding, bro. But anyway, Billy, your thoughts
on what on the
how Statlander got into the tournament? Because he mentioned it.
Again, it's one of the holes in Tony's booking. He just decides one day that person's a contender. Like, again, Nyla Rose, not to take anything away from her, but how the fuck was she a contender all of a sudden for the women's title? It's, I saw a video on YouTube that apparently right before Cody took his little ego and went home, that Brandy was stacking up wins for a possible run at the title on those dark shows. And it's like, dude, if you can't book one company properly, you can't book 2 properly. Like, it does, unless you make the shows important, or you discuss them and show highlights and openly discuss shit that happens on these shows. They don't exist. So whatever the fuck that excuse of, well, she saved an orphan and resurrected Lazarus and so on the dark, like, yeah, I didn't see it, didn't happen. What did happen? One of the new stars that you paid a lot of money for lost to Orange Julius with the lamest fucking passive aggressive hug I've ever seen, and then got a shot at the world title. That I saw. I didn't see.
I can't see that.
It's this weird. It's this, and every booker in the wrestling seems to be guilty of it. In that, well, this counts because this week it fits what I need to happen, and it's like, no, actually, no. That's what makes wrestling fake. And Tony needs to, either start delegating some shit, or he needs to kind of, needs to fucking, start up. But his women's division is sad. It is part of the reason why his women's division is sad is because he's letting a guy who has a very loose sense of what, like that women's Japanese tag match between Rio and the Elf was fucking horrible, and and I mean, again, I don't understand when guys talk about size when it comes to women's wrestling, but she literally has no strength. Like, everything she does doesn't look like it does anything because she has no impact. She's literally the daintiest wayfish thing I've ever seen. And it's like, why is that? Like, this could be a jobber match to get one jobber a little bit over to do more jobs. But the fact that Riho is being pushed, and once she's back in the full swing, if she can stay healthy, they're gonna push her right back in the mix of everything. And it's like, she can't hold up in a real wrestling match. She can't hold a candle to Nyla Rose. She can't keep pace with Thunder Rosa. She can't keep pace with Britt Baker, or even Statlander, or like a lot of the girls that they're kind of not really using. And as far as Cargill, she doesn't even have the skill to make somebody who knows how to wrestle look good. Like, all she's going to do is make Cargill look even worse than she already does. So, I
will tell you what I found so funny about their crew, right? The best wrestler ain't even getting to shine in the damn crew.
Well,
which is Kara Hogan. She's a bee.
It's just, it's a thing of they need to, again, structure these things better, and trim the fat on the shows to make more room for more matches and everything. Like I said, it's becoming painfully obvious that you're just plucking people out of the obscurity and then throwing them into the mix like it's supposed to mean something. And also, again, there's a lot, not everybody's meant to be in the mix. Just because you get along with them or you're buddies with them, off camera, doesn't mean they fit what you need to get across on TV. So, I mean, like I said,
Man.
Tony needs to be worried less about being people's friends. And,
The reason why I brought that up is because I was just pointing out, the small details that I seem like lack attention of, like why in the entire tournament is Jeff Hardy's match the only match that's like a no DQ match.
Because it was a shiny spectacle. It's like, here's the young Jeff Hardy and here's the old Jeff Hardy. So, you know, it's that thing of it was what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't a wrestling match. It was a fucking high spot fest. And, you know, watching Grandpa like climb the ladder and, you know.
Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin could not pull off an actual wrestling match. Even though Darby Allin can fucking wrestle his ass off. You feel what I'm saying? Jeff Hardy could actually wrestle his ass off. You feel me? But they want the high-flying, death-defying bumps. That's why they made it no DQ. They wanted to put in the words of Jim Cornette, to put a hat on top of a hat. You already had the marquee matchup of Jeff Hardy versus Darby Allin.
Lazy booking.
You didn't need it to be no DQ because they were going to do that shit regardless.
They're going to do crazy shit anyway.
Yeah, they're going to do crazy shit anyway. It's just, it would have made them do it a little bit more centered into the ring and within the confines of a match that had rules, but they didn't need a DQ. They just did a DQ because they were like, you know, I think it would be nice if we just take a DQ so they can really do some crazy shit. But the shit they did was what they did anyway.
Not only that, like, hindsight is always 20/20. Like, I was saying when Billy was offline for a couple of seconds, how like this fucking guy, like this, I tried to explain to like my I don't know what to call her. I tried to explain to Sarah, right? My co-host, my business partner, you know, my friend. What's it called? That like this isn't the same Jeff Hardy from like 5, 10, 15 years ago. Like since then, right? He's you know, fell off all sorts of heights, all sorts of shit. He does some dumb shit, right? Like he's all his back, his fucking pelvis, and his neck is all fucked up, right? He's a recovering drug addict, so he can't take painkillers. He's walking around hurt all the damn time. Like I watch him, and I was saying this back in 2018. Like I'm watching him, like everything he does hurts. Like even walking or moving, like hurts for him.
Dancing to the ring when you're supposed to be saving your brother.
That probably hurts too. That probably hurts too. But it's like
it's good.
Jeff Hardy, I mean, not anymore. I mean, I always thought he was kind of dorky, but Jeff Hardy is the perfect example of what you can get away with when the girls think you're cute, because this dude, I've heard some of his music, and okay, you're a musician. And I've seen some of his artwork. I was like, okay. And then, like I said, his dance moves and all the weird movements he does, it's like, yeah, no, this is definitely like, if anybody else, it was definitely, he had swagger, because Jeff Hardy would be one of those guys at the bar where it's like, your ass needs to go to the other end of the bar and stay there, because you knocked this trick out of my hand, we're gonna have a problem.
All throughout this match, and just like all throughout the show, right? You know, Sarah would be like, she would always saying, doesn't that hurt them? Oh my gosh! So like, so is that fake or not? You can't. Oh no, Jerry, you can't tell me it's fake. I'm like, yeah, it fucking hurts. Yeah. And she was like, and she's like, and so she watched this fucking guy jump off a ladder onto another guy onto a bunch of chairs, right? And she's like, oh my, how is she still alive? And then there's another bump too. I think Jeff or somebody, one of them, fucking just fell off or jumped off a height onto the steel steps or something like that. Oh my god!
Yeah.
How is she okay? And I was like, how is he okay? And like, I'm not gonna lie, like I said this half jokingly. I'm not gonna lie, like the only reason why he's alive, the only thing keeping him alive is adrenaline, because he got mad broken bones and internal injuries and bleeding and shit like that. Only thing keeping him alive. I said that half jokingly.
I think a lot of those guys that take those bumps, they're gonna be hurt up. You know, think about, and then got to move on because you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to keep the show moving a little bit.
Yeah.
Think about Dynamite Kid. That gives you the perfect example.
Owen Hart, the fucking guy, the tournament this guy named after. Keep going. That's how he died.
Yeah. So I mean, it's wild. But anyway, so how was it when did CM Punk came out? Because
this was the same way he came out last time when he came to the UBS in Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
It was just mind trippy because he was playing the heel back then, like he was on Wednesday. MJF was playing the babyface, and it was like mind trippy. I was like, again, is this a double turn? Both times when he came out, like, is this like a double turn? Like, is he going? Like, no, it's like Brett in it's like Sean in Canada and Brett in Canada. It's like he's a babyface there, and he's a babyface the way Bret Hart's a babyface in Canada, and CM Punk is a heel in Canada, the way that Shawn Michaels was a heel in Canada, or probably still is, or Hebner for that matter. That's what it is. Like, I don't know shit about hockey, so I don't know who the guy. I don't know what whose clothes he was wearing. But
the New York Islanders. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that much. But like, he was like parodying some particular player who I guess apparently quit the team or left the team or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but he was like parodying that guy, and the crowd booed him or whatever the fuck, and she was like, "Why is he booing him?" I really don't know, maybe because he's like wearing their colors, but why have you booed him wearing your colors, whatever. But apparently she's making fun of some guy that quit the team. I don't know, but I don't know anything about that. But anyway,
so that was the match.
We're
watching it live anyway, because that's the perspective that we didn't get. So how was it live watching him against him and John Silver?
I think it would have been one of those matches that would have been better. I would have thought was better if I was watching on my TV as opposed to live, because this guy's fucking short, and like it was mind trippy watching CM Punk sell for like, and I don't mean anything by this, but like sell for a midget. Yeah, hold on, guys, hold on. No, I'm good. All right, yeah, my bad. Yeah, I'm back.
I gotta laugh because I know right there, Billy. He chopping in the big, he cannot stand it, doggone it.
He's selling
first of all,
midget.
It's the George Goulas gang, and second of all, it's not even so much his height. It's not even so much his height. Whereas Punk is not exactly, what is he, like 6 foot? So this guy is really, really short. but Taz was short. There's like guys that are short, but you made him a fucking you made him a goofball. So now you got him in there with your top guy and having a competitive match and making him sell. And then like the way the match, it was just, again, dumb, bad. Like, yeah, I'm sure the guy is great in real life. I'm sure he's a delightful human being and uses his left and right turn indicators and everything. And he's but he shouldn't be in the ring with Punk. If anything, Punk should have did what he did to what's his name? Shit, I'm blanking on his name. Like, MJF's flunky, where he beat him in like
Britney Spears.
Okay, so Sean Spears gets beat in a couple seconds. Meanwhile, like, Thumbelina here has a competitive match and has like a competitive match with Punk. It has him on the ropes. And it's like, again, this is why being a booker or being creative is not an easy job. It's like perception, and you got to be consistent. And I didn't want to see this match. I kind of paid half attention to it because I had to watch it for the show. But this fucking guy is a goddamn goofball. And yeah, I get it. He's like built, but really he's just stocky. Like, go change your diet, get a little bit more ripped, go away and come back when you're like serious. And not like over the top, mean, serious, like, like have like if he had the old Ole Anderson style, where he picked a body part and just wore on it, and was like vicious.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like
that
driving
fit him very well. And you can, and then on commentary, you can go, well, he's a grinder, and he's this, that, and the other thing, in the vein of a Johnny Valentine or Ole Anderson, and he's lethal. And you have him wrestle a match in a certain way, like you would fight somebody. That's why grappling was invented. So, like, you can control bigger guys, and this fucking guy's like a little goddamn pinball, and it's like, oh no, he's pulling a thimble out from under the ring, and now he's got to hit Punk with it. It's like, what next? The shoe? It's like, I don't want to fucking see any of these assholes anymore. Put him in a little race car, give him $200, and set his ass past go. It's just enough. Even woke culture, who like is a massive bullshit wrestling apologist, was already talking about how the George Goulas gang is like beyond past its due date.
I look back now, I think I was way too forgiving and nice giving my ratings, like watching these matches, because I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I gave this match 3 stars. What the fuck was I thinking? But yeah, it was mind trippy watching this match, because like I like playing heel. He was selling for a midget.
That's the only thing I really liked about it. I like the fact that he won the match using the buckshot lariat. That's the only part I really liked about the match.
But it was a shitty buckshot lariat. I didn't even think. When I first saw it, right, I thought that was another move. I didn't even think that was a buckshot lariat. I thought, wow, he pinned the clothesline. Okay, I guess. And then everybody kept saying, he used fucking Adam Page's move. I'm like, I did not even realize that. And I thought it was like a shitty looking clothesline.
Even the build up to this main event is terrible. It's like, it's just when he's not on his game, it is very apparent. Like, look, I don't care how you do it, just get the belt off him. But how they're just from beginning to end, like everything they've done with Page, and now this rush to get the belt off him, it's so badly done. And the thing that makes it so just like in your face is that none of this had to happen. And
what do you think about Adam Page saying heelish shit last week and acting heelish this week?
My balls at 16 were more heelish. He's a pouty baby. That's the fucking thing I keep saying every week.
Jesus.
He's not a real cowboy. Fucking Paul Lynn in Chaps at Pride was more of a fucking cowboy. Okay? A little Jewish boy from Queens that literally goes, Ivan is more of a fucking cowboy, and now all he does is pout. He wasn't even a fun drunk. And you're gonna make the top guy by having him hang out with literally, if if George Goulas separated like Voltron and became a gag of wrestlers that you didn't give a fuck about. Oh, that's who he's gonna hang out with. It's like
yikes! I didn't mean to
fucking cluster. It's the Enron of wrestling.
It's beautiful.
Like, this entire fucking experiment with Adam Page, and you didn't have to have it. Like the sky is beyond. Like he should go to the WWE. He should like go to the WWE and sign a big contract and get a fresh start. Because honestly, once they take the belt off him, this is the one time you don't need a rematch. You need to take his ass off AEW TV and send him anywhere. And when he comes back, nobody talk about what happened. When he comes back,
I mean, in WWE,
what you do, if I hear you even remotely say anything that resembles ye or ha, you're fired. It's just bad.
I mean,
Tony Khan,
Gerald.
any wrestling company would have been fired for Booker for this shit. I would have fired his ass and then proceeded to make sure he could not get another booking job. And Adam Page at this point is now culpable because you went along with all this shit. And not only that, but you didn't pull not a thing of it off. I've been put in some situations where this scene sucks or I don't like what I'm in, but I managed to make aspects of it work and pull it off. He literally F across the board. The gear, the outfit, your promos, your facial expressions, everything, all of it, F. You pulled off nothing. You lose. You get nothing. Good day. Like literally.
I told him that I told Sarah that, oh, see that guy right there? He's the champion. Wait, he's the champion? She could not believe that. She could not believe.
Yeah, because
She didn't watch AEW at all. I know who this motherfucker is.
They understand this. They could have made him with Daniel Bryan. Okay? They could have made him. When they separated it like this. Not every champion needs to be with a crew or with a clique. See, Moxley worked because Moxley, he don't need to run with a crew. He might have some people that might jump with him or what have you. Moxley was menacing. Moxley, we can see him as a champ. Not because he was a WWE champion. We can see him as a champ. You feel me? Yeah. Page was the one guy that I was like, okay, I can see him as a champion. But then as his title reign moved, they didn't make him look meaningful. They didn't elevate him with the booking. You feel what I'm coming from? Because one, out the box, you give him Daniel Bryan, then you come right back and you give him the Murder Hawk. The Murder Hawk we ain't seen on TV in almost about 3 to 4 months, who ain't had a win, who has yet to win a main event of any pay-per-view, period, has not won a title, has not won even a meaningful feud, and just because he came in and punches, you know, your boy, he gets a title shot. You know what I'm saying? It has to make sense. You know what I'm saying? You take, and of course he agreed with me too, Adam Page. You weakened him in my eyes because he lost to Orange Cassidy, and you didn't even let him get the loss back. Adam Cole, yeah, Adam Cole, you didn't let him get the loss back. You could have been like, well, since he beat you and he's the number 1 contender, even though it didn't count, y'all gonna have a number 1 contenders match. He beats him in a number 1 contenders match. Now, guess what? All is forgiven because he beat him when it counted. Just that small little tidbit. No, I couldn't beat him in a lights out match, but I beat him when it counted. When I get a title shot, it's like they scared to give you a reason for the dude to have a title shot. Then Adam Page beats him clean. It wasn't even where he might have had his leg on the ropes, he might have his arm underneath the ropes, something that Adam Page would come back and say, yo, I never lost the match. You could have did a time limit draw if you want to be honest. No. How he gets the title shot again? He steals the belt. Come on. You doomed Adam Page. Adam Page is not one of those dudes that can make the belt. The belt has to make him. You feel what I'm coming from? It's the reason why Ring of Honor never put a belt on the motherfucker in the first place.
He went from being a fucking fake cowboy to a sullen and a drunk to a guy who hangs out with jobbers and geeks, and now he's the champion.
They should have kept him with the Hangman gimmick. The way he was in Bullet Club as Hangman, they should have just kept with that same story, that same attitude and thought process. You feel what I'm saying? No, they wanted to make him like he was from Texas, literally from Texas.
And whether you like it or you don't like it, Texas is its own thing. Texas is Texas. And Cowboys, again, whether it's your thing or not,
they don't know where the shit he was wearing.
It stands for something. And I've met a few real cowboys in my day. And if we have any listeners that either know cowboys or actually consider themselves genuine, true cowboy, comment or like write in on the Twitter. Like, what if somebody stole your belt from you? And
they stole his belt. I forgot about that.
Doing it, tell me what would happen.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's, again, Tony does a lot of stuff right, but when Tony does something wrong, it goes wrong, and he definitely needs to Again, like a lot of his shit's lazy. He needs to pass that on to somebody else, or have an assistant booker that can fill in. Because here's the thing, Stephen King, some of his best books are the ones where it's over 1,000 pages. One of his books, 11/22/63, about the assassination of Kennedy. The thing that made that book really interesting was it was a thing that nobody thinks about when you time travel, that he had to go back in time and live in 1960, like 2 and 3, before he could do anything. And it never occurs to anybody, like, all right, well, now you have to change the way you talk, and you can't hum certain tunes anymore, and you can't behave a certain way because you're in the past. And the guy didn't realize that, and that's what made the book really interesting and helped carry the book, in that people were like kind of slowly, like, what is that tune you were humming, or what is that phrase, or what do you and it's those little details that made, okay, big idea, we're going to stop the Kennedy assassination. Okay, sure, Kennedy was a jerk off, but sure, let's I don't think he should have been killed for it. Sure, let's stop the assassination. Big idea. Well, now you got the big idea. Well, how are you going to get to how are you going to get through it's all about the in-betweens that make the story. Coming up with the beginning and an ending and like some big shit in the middle is easy. It's all the little shit in the middle that carries the story along. And Tony has none of that skill, or he just doesn't want to. And also, you need to stay off TV or get a haircut or something, because you have the charisma of a doorknob cozy.
I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure Tony Khan's a great guy, but he to me comes off as like a kid playing the AEW video game on general manager mode. That's what comes off to me as. Like, it's a guy who doesn't really, who's not really, like, doesn't have the experience to be a booker, playing booker, and thinking, oh, anyone can do this, I can do this, and that's just the way it comes off to me. But let's move on.
Yeah. Now, what else happened on the show? We can get through this and then move on to the WWE bullshit.
You had the opener. You had Adam Cole. How many Adams? Fuck. Adam Cole and Dax Harwood. That was the opener.
Yeah.
We talked on that match.
That was a good match. I like that match. I liked it. A lot of odes to the old school of, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels shit. Even fitting to how, but
I didn't notice this at first. I had to like go back home and watch it on TV. But like Sarah, she was like, "Why do you keep showing a close of that woman?" I was like, "What woman?" Her. That was Owen Hart's wife, right? Martha. Yeah. I was like, well, that's the person. That's the I had to explain to her. That's the Owen Hart's wife. And it's the Owen Hart cup, right? What's it called? The Owen Hart cup.
Yeah, the Owen Hart tournament. It's Owen Hart tournament, memorial tournament, something like that.
And I was like, who's? It's like, well, who's that? Well, he was this wrestler that died in 1998. 1998, right? What year was it when he died?
Damn, I can't remember. Yeah, he died terribly. God.
Yeah, he died.
Time too.
And so his wife made a foundation in his name, and this is in honor of it. That's the best I could explain to her. And so she liked this match. She's like, "Is this match like? Oh my god, this looks so real." Because like Dr. was a good job at selling, his ribs and him like not be able to breathe, something like that. That was started the match, and then he finally tapped out to the sharpshooter. And then she thought that he might actually win the match, and I was thinking, nah, he's going to lose because he's a tag team guy, and two, Adam Cole's the biggest star.
Which made sense.
So she didn't, but she didn't like know that. But she didn't like have that logic, that wrestling knowledge, that what you call it, that wrestling logic to use. So yeah, and then what else? Yeah, that match, and they had the women's match. Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter. Am I correct?
Yeah, I saw that. I actually like that match.
It was all right. I gave it 2 3/4 stars. It was fine. You don't have to do no. By the way, if anybody listens to this, any wrestler listen to this, like we all know it's fake. Don't try to make us think it's real by doing dangerous, real shit. All right. We all know the apron is the hardest part of the ring. Thanks for letting us know, Michael Cole. I just thought they did a bunch of needless. They did a bunch of needlessly stupid and dangerous things.
I mean, they
for no
do
reason.
that anyway. I mean, that's the whole generation, dog. It's like a lot of shit. It's okay. I'm gonna go off topic. I'm trying to keep it on time thing, but it's like this. When I go back and I look at wrestling, like I was like me and that show you how much what you just said to me. Me and Billy, we talk about the old school a lot. And I think about one of the things, Gerald the King Lawler. You never saw him come off the top rope until he had the guy to the point where it made sense. That he's not going to move if I hit him with this. He's not moving. You feel me? Everything that was done was methodical and made sense back then. It wasn't done for spots or what have you. It was they read the crowd and they knew when to reel it in or let it go. Here, it's more about the indie wrestling mentality. I want to get
my shit in. I want to get that viral. I am.
Yeah, I want to get that viral moment. Period. I want to.
I gotta get that Instagram moment or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, and me and Billy talk about that a lot because that's just how the philosophy is nowadays. Because to me, think about this. And Billy can speak to this. Nick Bockwinkel got over way more than any of these wrestlers got over in this day and age, and he never came off the top rope once. Billy?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's that thing. It's the same in every industry where it's like, okay, but you see what everybody's doing. So rather than maybe either trying to be inspired and think of something original or just doing something different, they just go with the flow. That's why I've always said, like, I don't see other male talents as competition because it's like, well, they're not doing what I'm doing, Billy. They're not doing Billy, and they don't have the ideas I have or want to shoot things the way I do. So it's like we can't be competition because we're not doing the same thing. If there's a lot of guys out there that you literally, if they quit tomorrow, it's like, oh, well, there's like literally 12 guys with your exact look and body type doing the exact same thing. So I can replace you in under 5 minutes. But, MJF, again, the way his whole heel persona nonstop, even his parents are in on the act. And it separates him from everybody else. And again, he's not doing wild, crazy, like I forget what pay-per-view. It wasn't what the pay-per-view that the match he had with Darby Allin. Everybody was saying that was a 10-minute match, and it was the match of the night overall, and it was the opening match of this pay-per-view. And because, again, he didn't do anything spectacular. He played off of Darby's like crazy shit, but he just did all psychology, and
not only that, he kept teasing and going for a headlock takeover, and that's how he won with it. Yeah, a headlock, something as simple as that. It got so much, got so much, anticipation and actually sold the match so much. And you guys talk about how I'm 27, right? And how you guys are so more comparatively older than me and know so much more than me. MJF he's 25, younger than I am. And he has such an old school mentality, and he knows his history. He channels Piper and his other heels from the past into who he is. Always references stuff like that.
Again, it's separating. It's psychology, and it's separating because again, the argument when I bitch about Orange Julius, and people go, "Oh, he's a great." I'm like, is he competent? If for whatever reason I wound up doing a spot on a show where I played a heel manager for the night and somebody was going to beat me up and throw me out of the ring, would I let Cassidy do that? Like, yes, because he's competent enough that he would be able to protect me and everything. There's nothing unique. He's all gimmick. I just because his wrestling, there's nothing spectacular about his wrestling. Even when he wrestles, he doesn't wrestle like somebody who's that type of hipster. He wrestles like, oh, I used to be in Shikara and I could do all these fucking lucha Japanese hybrid moves. You know, a little psychology, goes a long way. And, again, yes, Dante Martin can fly through the air and he actually seems to almost like levitate for a period of time. Great. There's nothing else. Everything else about him is underwhelming, and I don't.
That's a guy who needs psychology. A
lot of the AEW roster.
Yeah, a lot of them. But
roster,
he's one of the more egregious examples.
they need psychology, and they need to kind of. And again, it's not even. And I hate saying this, but a lot of them are going to think this way. But it's not. What would your persona or character do? It's I have a IMDb credit, and I played a part of this like kind of small town guy that never left. Was an asshole in high school, and he never grew up, and he's still acting like he's in high school and everything. And I thought to myself, okay, how would this guy dress? What would this guy do in this situation? Like, I know what I would do, and I'm going to do the opposite of that. So, like, I was told what the character was in general, and then I pieced it together because it's like, all right, well, this guy, he would say things like this, and he would do this. And, the real me would, if a girl was passed out, I would carry her to my bed and let her sleep in my bed while I slept on the couch, and, and nothing would happen. He would do something really lame and creepy because that's what this character would do. It's the same thing in wrestling. And again, they're allowed to get away with it. Like, oh, he does a bunch of high spots. They're not held to a task. If somebody made them like, look, if you want to be on my roster, you got to bring me something more than the fact that you can do a bunch of flips and come off the top rope. Then maybe some of them would answer the call and some of them wouldn't. Darby is more than, he's got like all those death-defying moves, but he has like a persona and a character and an essence about him. And, and he also knows how to sell. And, and again, that's the best part. That's the thing. It's like, I'm not shitting on these guys for being spot monkeys or like all the flippy shit. I'm giving you shit because I could clearly see you're capable of more or being smarter about it, and you're not. That's what I'm giving you shit about. It's like, you can, like you're doing the same flips as everybody else, and you could do more and be more interesting about it, but you're not. That's why Rob Van Dam is Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam did all kinds of crazy shit, but it was unique. There was Rob Van Dam and there was everybody else, and that's what I'm giving you shit for. You're not trying.
Okay. All right. Well, if we're moving on, we have two last things. Really have the Danhausen match, and we have the contract signing MJF and Wardlow.
Well, shoot.
Just thoughts real quick about that.
Well, we can move to them real quick. Hook, Danhausen, for the match they about to have, I got no issue with what they're about to do. I figured this was coming. Because it's the fact that since Mark Sterling is actually going to be in the match, if not, I would rather have Hook versus Nice versus versus Danhausen versus Nice. Even though I know Danhausen can go, but I just think the match that Hook and Nice would have, I think would be a better look match wise, in my opinion. Cause I know Nice can get down. He's good. So
how do, especially both of y'all, but especially Billy, how do you feel about this pairing they're trying to force with Danhausen and Hook?
I don't get it. And also I don't get why you would have Danhausen just lose that quickly and that easily.
Yeah,
I honestly, the way they've handled Danhausen from the beginning, again, Tony has dropped the ball and putting him with Orange Julius, and then this, I don't know, like, I know he's getting over an injury and you couldn't just put him in the ring, but also now you're going to make
I forgot about that.
You're going to make him comic relief and everything. And the guy, the beauty of Danhausen was he did all this stuff outside the ring, but when he was in the ring, he could wrestle. And now you're just going to make him a comedy act.
But even with that, they didn't have to pair him with Vince Prince. He could have been by himself. I mean, because to me, I don't know why Tony Khan feels that he got to put everybody in the fucking clique when they get there. Like, just like they just announced the gun club.
Not just a clique, but have you noticed? He always puts somebody in the best friends? You have what's the guy's name? You have what the fuck is the guy? Mm-hmm.
See, you want to know why? Because he's trying to make the American version of New Japan. If you look at New Japan,
the Bullet Club.
Come on, think about it. Look at New Japan and look at AEW and tell me you don't make the same sense.
So the best friends is our version of the Bullet Club. So you have Pockets, you have Wheeler Yuta, you have Trent with no last name.
No, actually, they really are. If you want to go there, they're Chaos. Because Chaos got Yan, what's his damn name? Yanni, the one that's supposed to be the comedy for them in Japan.
You have Danhausen, you have Tomohiro Ishii. That guy. Fuck it. All right, I guess.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It seems like that's where they're going with everything. Because even to the point that, you know, which I knew we were going to touch on at some point, they talking about bringing the blood and guts match, aka War Games, back. And it like put it this way, look, fuck the contract signing, because with MJF and Wardlow, we already know what we're going to get with that. You know, interesting, because I find it funny that every time you got to go against MJF, you got to go through something to get to him. Or a couple of matches.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, where the fuck is MJF? Like, he's like the final boss in the video game. Like, yeah, go through all these other people to get to me. Like, he's not a champion. He's not a fucking EVP. Even Cody. Cody's like, boy, I'm one of the founding fathers. Who the fuck is you? He didn't say that, but like, I'm thinking that, like, or Jericho, the 5 trials of Jericho, whatever the fuck it was called. Like, why? That's his gimmick. He's Bash Mega Man.
But see, that's the thing about MJF. That's part of his persona. I have no issue with it to a certain extent, because to me, I just felt like they could have just bypassed all that and, you know, just had them beef, what have you, or even had Wardlow say, this is what I would have done. Instead of him putting in the contract that Wardlow had to face Shawn Spears, Wardlow wants to face Shawn Spears to show MJF what he's about to get and he get his hands on type situation. You feel what I'm coming from? It's kind of like they're building MJF to be the ultimate heel rich guy asshole. I mean, they building him up to where he supposed to be.
If they ever make an AEW video game, right, MJF has to be the final boss, and he has to be an unlockable character. Once you beat him, you unlock him. Like, cause you have to go through the entire fucking roster to get to him. I guess.
Hey, Billy, what do you think about the fact that the stipulations of the match before Wardlow got to go, the shit that Wardlow got to go through before he even had the match? Do you think they should have cut that out?
No, it's like one of the few things. It's one of the few things that they're making work, and it's mainly because MJ is able to pull it off, and Wardlow is playing perfectly off of it because he's not fazed by it. And you know, I think this is one of the cases where I think MJF has a certain amount of creative control where he's able to make whatever idea that Tony is throwing out there like actually work. You could tell. Again, we don't really know all the details, but in some cases you could tell where like this is all Tony, and then this is where the wrestlers got a little bit more say and whatever like Adam Page. I could see that all being Tony, whereas with anything with Punk and MJF, I could see they're kind of fitted. They're coloring within the lines and kind of making sure everything it rounds out. I mean, it's been entertaining. Because again, I didn't think I was gonna like the whole we got to handcuff him before he comes to the ring kind of deal and everything. But Wardlow, who's gonna be one of their biggest stars, has been able to pull it off. And like I said, MJF, everybody, if you're a wrestler and you lace up a pair of boots, you need to every time MJF comes out, you need to stop whatever you're doing and like record and listen to everything he does and watch everything he does, because he is just about as close to perfect as it can get, because everything, his mannerisms, the way he does things, everything,
it's funny.
It's all within the realm of the character. So everything he does is good, whereas like the Young Bucks are trying to be quote unquote heels, but at the same time be like inside joke cool kids with their own little clique of fans. And it's like, no, are you a heel or you're not a heel? Like, what are you doing?
It's funny what you said, how MJF need to drop everything what you're doing. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. When I was there, I knew there was a commercial, and I knew that MJF was next. But she wanted like concessions, so we went to concessions. Like, so I'm like, look at the clock, listen out, see if it's come back on. I didn't want to miss MJF, the MJF's contract signing, because and so we're getting stuff, right? We're getting free food or whatever the fuck, right? I'm saying I'm introduced to my boy, forgot his name, or some friend, and stuff like that. And then I hear his music come out. I was like, oh, we gotta hurry back, right? It's like, well, hold on. I gotta get my fucking mustard or whatever the fuck. Yeah. Come on. Let's go. Right? It's like, damn, Mario, wait, hold on. I gotta get my napkin. Okay, fine. Come on, let's go. All right. So I'm rushing back to see this guy, and then like I hear him talking while we're still like finally going back to the seats. Come on, we're going. And then stuff like that. And so yeah, you're right about that. Like, he is must see, must hear. And I'm not gonna lie, like by far, like he got the biggest, like he got the most heat tonight. Like the whole playing him as a Long Island guy, and which, I mean, it's funny too. It's just a nitpick. I'm not making a big deal about this, but it's funny that they keep calling like the UBS Arena, saying it's in Long Island. That part of Long Island is barely Long Island. It's like borderline Queens. It is. It's barely. It's because I technically live in Queens, and like that arena is like a 5-minute walk from my house. Damn. Like, it's technically, yeah. That's just a little nitpick. It's like it's just whack. They keep saying it's Long Island, like, because you have New York City, you have upstate, and you have Long Island, right? Like, I would like MJF, he's not a New Yorker. He's from Long Island, and he'd be mega over in Long Island, right? And it's just kind of my trippy to see him here in Belmont Park. That's the town where the UBS is in, being over as like a Long Island boy, which is that's one town over from Queens. That's like a 5-minute walk from the 5 boroughs of death. Huh?
I said they just gonna lump it into Long Island.
It's just gonna say it's gonna.
Yeah.
Long Island. Again, I'm not saying anything about anything. I'm just making a quick nitpick, real quick. Don't make a big deal. But Belmont is barely Long Island. It barely like a 5-minute walk from the 5 boroughs of death. Like, I swear.
Right. So now we need to move on a little bit more quickly, because there's some other things I want to touch, because I want to touch these in the next 10 minutes so we can move on to the old school, because we got to talk about the Sheik. Right. Now, the last thing for AEW, and then there's one thing I want to touch on mainly with WWE, because I don't want to go too deep with them, because they really didn't have much that went on this week anyway.
I think he did everything. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the blood and guts. That's the only thing. 'Cause I know they're talking about the blood and guts, and it's looking like the Blackpool Combat Club, as well as AKA LAX. They just ain't named them that. I'm just gonna call them that, against the sports entertainers. So the Jericho appreciate the JSA, and the JAS. I'm sorry, and okay.
Stupid name.
I'm curious who they're gonna add to Jericho's side for this blood and guts, because it apparently is going to be a 12-man type match. Because my question is, how in the hell are you going to have it? Is you going to have it a 3-way? And how it's going to be a 3-way where one side and two of the teams is basically going to try to kill Jericho?
Yeah, I didn't know what to really think about this segment. I forgot about that too. Brought it up. Again, like, to me, the bloom is off the road to Jericho. I've seen enough of him, and he comes out there acting all wacky, saying a bunch of weird shit. Like again, one of those moments that made me embarrassed to be a wrestling fan. It's like he called himself a wizard. It's like, why does he keep saying he's a wizard? You have to be there. He's always making some catchphrase. That's all I could say to poor Sarah, who didn't understand why he kept calling himself a wizard. But anyway, he came out. It was like 5 of them, right? It's him, 2.0, and Jack Swagger, right? Those 5 guys.
Jack Swagger, as well as I think Nick Garcia.
The Jazz Hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.0. Swagger and Jericho. So you had Kingston, you had Pride and Powerful, you had Moxley, and then that's 5. You had Regal at 6, right? Oh, you were there at 7. So 7 on 5 advanced baby faces. So I don't really know how it's gonna.
That's what I said. They got to add 2 more. So I wonder who the 2 more is going to be. Because
so add 2 more 2 more heels. Never mind. Yeah, keep going.
So the question of it is, who'd be the 2 heels, and I'm curious to see how that's going to fall on that end, because it's right now, the way I feel about that blood and guts is I don't know if I really want to see it. I mean, if it was Proud and Powerful and Kingston versus the Blackpool Combat Club, I'm all for it, because I know there's going to be a hellified, physical, bloody, nasty match. 2.0, I know I can't. Billy, thoughts?
I don't know. I don't know if I miss something, and all of a sudden the Blackpool Club came out to attack Jericho, because
I missed something. I didn't know they had beef.
Yeah, and also
well, no, because
what you about to say, Gerald?
Because Moxley and Kingston and Storyline are like best pals, and that's the only link I could draw between that.
But I think they should have said that, in my opinion.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
But go ahead, Billy.
No, it just seemed like something they're trying to force without doing, the little nuances. And honestly, the sports entertainer thing, it's a great idea, and I would be doing it 100% differently, probably with different guys, because Garcia, I will give a tip of the hat that he's trying, but every time he opens his mouth, I want to know his Cash App, because I want to immediately start sending him money to how much am I going to give you to have you not do this promo? Because I don't want to see you talk. I don't want to see
the fake
fat,
Italian.
I don't want to see the skinny fat dude with the big head make the weird faces like he's got a butt plug that just popped out, or his nondescript partner. Jake Yeager, it's a good thing you're a trained killer, dude, because there's something about you that makes me want to pants you. And who's left? No, I think that's it. I just don't care. Like, it's a great idea to take sports entertainers in a wrestling company. That's great. It's an invader angle without having to be an invader angle. But I don't care about this group. I don't want to see.
That's from that.
I don't want to see any of these jerk-offs on my TV again.
And they're talking about doing a blood and guts match. So now I got to see these bitches bleed. And I'm sorry, it's kind of like, okay.
I'm not going to lie. I fell asleep with the first blood and guts match they had.
I don't care about
I actually like 2.0. I think they put them with Jericho. Actually, no. I have no issue with them putting them. I have no issue with them being with Jericho. It's just, to me, Daniel Garcia need to be on Blackpool Combat Club.
I feel like Jericho's. Keep going.
He fits that more, and I could see what they could have had your boy with the Hollywood hunk, Dolph Ziggler 2.0. You know, they could have had him.
His brother?
So what?
His brother? Ryan Nemeth?
I don't know who that is. You seen him? He looked like Dolph Ziggler. He's the one that used to run with I had to show it to him, but he's with AEW. He always be on BTE and shit, trying to get a script or what have you. But anyway, as many other people I think they could have threw their claim with that, because they sports entertainment comes to a certain extent. So to me, Daniel Garcia shouldn't be there. So, but look, let's get off of AEW and let's move on to what I wanted to bring up on the WWE side of things. The biggest complaint that the WWE Universe, and I do remember this was the WWE Universe had, was about part-timer having the belt. Guess what we're about to get, people? Part-timer having the belt. Because now, official that the one and only Tribal Chief is now a part-timer. Thoughts?
I vaguely heard about that. Why though? Is it because of his health or his schedule? Why?
Probably the way it's sounding, and I put money on it. He's about to get into Hollywood.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Because of even with Nick Khan. No, I'm sorry. I just always want to say that. Was even saying that they were looking to try to get him into the movies or what have you. So now we're about to have a situation where the belts is technically unified, and now the guy that got the belt is not going to be on TV hardly, and probably ain't going to do as many pay-per-views.
Well, it's a good thing their world title doesn't mean anything. So.
They obviously don't. And they still talking about unifying, because what, this coming Friday? This coming Friday, they supposed to be
unifying the tag belts?
Unifying the tag titles. I'm curious to see if that's going to actually happen. No, go ahead. What you about to say?
No, I was just going to say, I kind of want RK Pro to lose the belts, and I think they're going to. And also, isn't it supposed to be a brand extension? Why is everything being unified? Like, Fox and USA want both separate rosters. Like, in real life. They want, like, separate rosters. So how's that going to work?
No, actually, I think the reason why they're unifying and they're eventually going to get rid of the brand is because they've been arguing that they can't get certain stars because they're on. Well, we want that star because they're on over there on that shitty roster. Yeah, well, we want that star but they're over there on that shitty roster. Like, why can't we get that shitty wrestler on that shitty roster over here on our shitty roster? So so basically, they're eventually going to, and that's what WWE does. They go back and forth. Like, there'll be no brand split for a couple of years, and then. Vince will pop his little weird puppet head up out of a nap and just, brand split. And then, like nod in and whatever. And it's just, that's been doing it since 2000. They're going to go back and forth. And now I think it's because they're like, hey, why can't we get Roman? Well, he's on this thing. Why can't we get so-and-so? Because he's on there. And, Vince, the only thing that actually sways him is when somebody with more money than him that pays him tells him, like, hey, we want this. So, that's like the real reason, as far as I know that. And yeah, Roman has the ability to go to Hollywood, and I mean, he's kind of hit the ceiling. The only other way he could rejuvenate his wrestling career is to leave and go somewhere else. And this way he can get money while building the Hollywood thing. I mean, hey, the WWE is not going to do you any favors. They're never, especially the way they're going as a company, they don't give a fuck about anybody. So if you can get on any gravy train, like look at Xavier Woods. No one talks about him, but that dude's going to be just fine when his contract ends because he's been slow building an entire little empire onto his own for when he leaves. He's even said it. It's like, hey, one day I'm not going to be with the WWE, so I'm keeping this name and everything, so that way I can just keep going without missing a beat. Like there's a guy who's going to be way better off and probably in better health in his old age than a lot of wrestlers.
You sure he said one day, not any day now?
Hey, you know what? If the WWE wants, this is a guy that's
any day
so
now
good that he got a fucking tuba or he's got a trombone over. If they want to be dumb enough to cut him loose, fuck it, you can go anywhere. I mean, behind the scenes or in the ring. I would like to see more Xavier wrestle. So the WWE
and trust me, he'll get booked on the independents.
The WWE ain't doing anybody any favors. The only people they're doing favors for is like Charlotte and Roman. Everyone else, if you want to fire the Usos, if you want to fire this wrestler, go ahead, asshole. You're the one that's been dimming them down. So like now they could go somewhere and actually maybe be interesting for once. Like Nick Khan.
And please hold on, Billy. Please let the Usos go. Because that will give me the dream matchup I've been waiting to see. Briscoes versus Usos.
I mean, just Nick Khan is not he's a fucking asshole executive. He sits behind a desk and he thinks he's a man's man because he sits behind a desk and like fucks people over business deals. And he's like one of those guys that probably talks a very big game at the bar, after fucking somebody over a deal. But yeah, please let certain wrestlers go because you've proven that you don't understand talent or people that are benefit to your company. You're going to sit there and let these wrestlers go, but like Lacey Evans is still on your roster and you're going to push her. I'd laugh in his face if I ever met him. It's like, dude, you don't know fuck from talent. That dumb bitch couldn't fucking put a puzzle together, let alone a match, anything worth watching on TV. But she's the one you're going to keep. But you're going to cut all these other like female wrestlers. Okay, asshole. By all means, yes. Act like you're doing a great. You're like, oh my goodness, we're cutting you loose from the WWE. It's like, dude, again, unless I was trying to buy a house or my wife had a disease that I had to, needed to pay the insurance, I don't see a reason why you would want to wrestle for the WWE. Other than the paycheck, there's no why. Why would you want to take years off your life and be just driven into the doldrums of supposed wrestling the WWE? It's like, save your money, live on $30,000 a year, save your money, and then in like 5 years you got some money, you got like a nest egg and you own your house. That's the only quality. Fuck the idea. Oh god, yeah, please cut me. You fucking like you're doing anybody any favors.
All right, now shoot, well, now because of time restraints, we need to move on. We got to move on to the old school because I wanted to give a little bit of good, strong time to this subject. Plus, I got an hour left because I got a show I got to do with 6. So, with that being said, it's time for the old school and stuff. And this week, my man Billy is going to discuss the Sheik. This is 2 parts, as he would say. And I'm going to step out the way and let him run this segment, and we go from there. Go ahead, Billy.
Yeah, no, we're doing 2 segments because Brian R. Solomon, the author of Blood and Fire, the unbelievable real-life story of wrestling's original Sheik, does not fuck around when he writes a book because this thing is very well written. It's a very easy, very good read, but it is dense. and full of facts, and really getting 100 pages in, I realized this was going to have to either be the entire show or it was going to have to be a two-parter, because the Sheik was basically the Forrest Gump of pro wrestling. And, he was born in June 1926 and made his pro wrestling debut at the age of 20 in 1946. And from the absolute get, he was a star. Like it's kind of hard to kind of encompass, because as I was reading this, certain stories I actually bled into several other books that had a cross reference. But in his early years, he was like, you're very much straight laced, kind of like no nonsense, like shooter wrestler. He actually started out wrestling for famous promoter Nick Landis in the Detroit area, where his family moved from Lebanon to the Detroit area. And ironically, even being like most immigrant families, wound up being more Americana than people who were actually born and raised here. Like, they were the prototypical blue collar Detroit family. Father being a welder. Ed Farhat, came from a ridiculously large family and a very close knit family. And hold on one second, I'm consulting my notes. So he started out wrestling in the Midwest through Detroit and Ohio and Indiana. And it was very interesting because he came in at a time, where the next phase of wrestling that were carried all the way through into the 70s, where you had, the WWA break off and become its own world title as well, twice in California and in Indiana with the Crusher. But also you had the creation of the AWA, and the only television show was the wrestling on the DuPont network. And the slow build of what the Sheik slowly became, he started to play up, because in this era, most of after World War II, most of the foreign villains were your Germans, your Japanese, your Italians, unless you were in the Northeast. And he essentially started playing up. Originally, it was the Sheik of Araby, and he would, had his wife. Sorry, what?
But see, but he was in wrestling before then, because he wasn't using the Sheik moniker at first, was he?
No, he was under Farhat, and then he caught on quickly, and he sorry, my brain just froze.
I remember Arthur was talking about it, that he had a bunch of matches before he became the Sheik, and he
wrestled for a few years. It wasn't until, I want to say, in the 50s where he really started to, and it all didn't happen overnight. Like, it slowly added itself, like the Sheik slowly evolved in the gimmick. Like, the gimmick did not become like the Sheik until the mid 60s. He did a lot of touring. He did spent a lot of time in Texas in the Amarillo territory, where he formed a bond with the Funk family. And he also, like out in California, but always managed to, kind of come back home, like he never wanted to be far from a family. Actually, you know what? Unfortunately, like I said, this is a really vast story, and trying to condense it into.
Well, let's try this. All right, with the Sheik, from what you had read and what you had looked at, because what made the Sheik to me interesting was that he ain't guys that was hardcore, because his matches was brutal and bloody. You know, and I think that's one thing that made him stand out for a minute. And he was a guy that when they say they lived the gimmick, you know. 'Cause I even remember when Jim Cornette used to talk about, or any of the wrestlers say that, yeah, he was the Sheik. He was known as the Sheik. His grandkids or kids or nieces and nephews, Uncle Sheik. You know, period. So from what you remember, how did he transition from being a wrestler to the promoter, taking over that damn territory?
Well, actually, that's actually pretty interesting, because that's where we started to divert into, where I had to start reaching into other books that I've had. In 1946 was the big, probably the 64. I'm sorry, 1964 was the quintessential year for the Sheik, in that he was he was headlining the Amarillo territory in Texas, and that's where he became the quintessential like headliner and a money drawing headliner, because up until then the Sheik was like a mid carder to maybe upper mid carder wrestler, and it was during this time in 46 where he was, or God damn it, 64, where he was becoming like the big headliner and money draw. And Jim Barnett, and his partner Lonnie Winter were, running Detroit territory, and Barnett was famous for creating studio wrestling. And the thing about Barnett was he was living in Lexington, Kentucky, and there was a very famous sex scandal that came out of there, that kind of came to a head in 64, where I had to dip into The Thin 30 by Shannon Ragland, where they talk about the Kentucky football team. And basically Barnett and his companion would host parties and shower gifts on the football players, and you could see where I'm going with this, have these lavish parties. And actually, in particular, one Rock Hudson would attend these parties, and there was also believed some gambling and possibly some possible little insider gambling going on involving and again sexual favors being had at these parties. And when this hit in 1964, it hit big, and it was a kind of it came on so strong that literally overnight, Barnett and his partner went from living in Lexington, Kentucky, to selling his territory to the Sheik, and then who was their booker at the time, and then moving to Australia, where he started WCW, and he remained in Australia until the early 70s, when he was brought back to win the Georgia Promotional War from Ann Gunkel. And it was because of this sex scandal breaking out in Kentucky that Barnett had to get out of Dodge right quick, and they sold the Detroit territory, Big Time Wrestling, to Farhad for $50,000. And it's at this time when the character, the Sheik as we knew it, finally started to come into, like, when he started wearing the specialized boots, and he started using the flash paper to throw the fire, and he was becoming more and more wild, Billy,
hold on 1 second. Hey, Gerald, since you got to run and stuff, tell everybody about your app, brother, real quick. Hello? Oh, he gone. Go ahead. Yeah, he already bounced. My bad. I thought he was still on there connected. Go ahead, Billy.
No, that was it, and that's where I was gonna end it, because in 1964, that's when he was going to that's when the Sheik became the owner of the Big Time Wrestling, and then he started to essentially reshape the territory. It became what it was called, kick punch territory, where it had a lot of action and it had characters and everything, and also he started to get his foot in the door in the Maple Leaf Gardens and with Jack Tunney, and started bringing money there, and that's where it began. This is where the legendary era of the Sheik really came into the modern thought. And yeah, so we're gonna end it there this week, because we haven't even. Because again, we haven't even been able to get with Bobo Brazil, but also he hasn't even gotten to Japan yet because he became a huge star in Japan. There's there's the guy was the Forrest Gump. He actually is credited with turning Freddie Blassie around this time. Babyface, because he also again, while he's wrestling for Detroit, he's also just literally making shot, flying in on a Thursday and then heading out Friday night after the matches. And he actually made the Freddie Blassie, after a series of cage matches in the Olympic Auditorium, a babyface, which set up the last great feud for LA wrestling, with Tolis. And that was the last high profile feud that the Los Angeles territory had, and it was because he was able to turn babyface because of the Sheik. So this guy, everywhere he went, he had a massive impact, like the Cow Palace, Madison Square Garden. He, like I said, it's again, it's going to take a little bit more time to go into greater detail.
And we would definitely do that and give you the part 2 next week. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Gerald had to go. Y'all can check him out on his app. He has his own app, people, the BGPLLC app. You can download it on your phone, or you can do it on your desktop or whatever mobile device that you have. He has a wonderful radio station which we actually appear on, and he got multiple radio stations. The man doing it up there in New York and stuff. And another win in the books, Mr. Pilgrim. Another win in the books, Mr. Pilgrim. Yes. So now, programming note, which somebody wanted to put a bug in your ear. And we'll definitely talk about it more off camera. But hopefully, I think next week, hopefully, we might be giving you a Premium Smoke video. The actual video where you can see me and him both or what have you. And the only way you can see video will be in the Premium Smoke room. So no, the actual Pilgrim on wrestling, no, there's not going to be video because, well, that's free. You know what I'm saying? Period. Now, at some point, it might be. But for now, we want you to go to that Premium Smoke and get that Premium Smoke there, what have you. And so how you feeling? How you enjoyed this episode, sir?
That was good.
Yeah. We finally got together after all the damn dropping of this damn anchor and shit. But we got it. So with that being said, people, how we end this every day, all day. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience? Didn't learn anything. Billy.
Until next time, when it's Vader time, we'll see you then.
Yeah.